had to be the needle that was popping your bubble, letting the air out, walking with a clear route. How we gon' rise today? I'm making mine today, go make yours. Double back and flip the proceeds. Last year on the corner sipping OE. Had to get off the block, best friend smoking rock. Best man called the cops. Rose from the city that never sleeps, it's the melting pot. I came through with purpose, I never question if it's worth it. Homie, I'm on top, really, we on top. I'm on top, see me, I'm on top. We on top, whole crew on top. I can't stop, I'm on top, see me, I'm on top. Nigga, I'm on top, I'm on top. Whole crew on top, really, I'm on top. I never stop. Born from the belly of the beast, from the streets, had to make it out. I only knew a vacant house, no heat, cold winters. Grew up a winner, I never lose, only learn a lesson. I'm a mutant, master splinter, past the finning. Now my goal infinity, victorious. Mine in the future, my crew rolling DeLoreans. Any person who want war, throw in the gloves, you ready to spar. I've been a rose in the thorns, holding the keys. Time to succeed, now the haters on their knees. Cause really we on top, really we on top. I'm on top, see me, I'm on top. We on top, whole crew on top. I can't stop. I'm on top, see me, I'm on top. Nigga, I'm on top. I'm on top, whole crew on top. Really, I'm on top. I never stop.
Tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish, I'll be his lucky lady. If he's the one that gets my wish, then tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish, I will be the world's luckiest lady. I'll be good, I promise I'll be grateful. Yeah, I will go the extra mile and even turn the tables. Yeah, yeah. We can build a house made of candy or a house made of snow. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about, you know what I mean, no, no. We can build a house made of candy or we can build a house made of snow. He belongs with me forever. Then put him in a box and send away. Miami in big letters on the side. I know I'm not supposed to talk pretend. Please don't make me dream forever. When I wake up, I better see my baby. Santa, I'll be good now, please. If he's the one that gets my wish, then tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish, I'll be his lucky lady. If he's the one that gets my wish, then tell him he's my lucky baby. If he's the one that gets my wish. No more talking about it. The way it is, the way it is. It's no mystery. There's no getting around it. When you're here, we got chemistry. We light up when we ignite. We are stars in a darkened sky. When you leave, don't forget to remember. Don't forget to remember me. When you leave, don't forget to remember. Don't forget to remember me. Remember me. I fight for you every second. To keep your touch in my memory. I try not to regret it. What could have been, should have been, if you would stay with me. When you leave, don't forget to remember. Don't forget to remember me. When you leave, don't forget to remember. Don't forget to remember me. Remember me. Remember me.
Scars as deep can go are heavy on my soul. And you see all I am, but still aren't letting go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Was born to run, don't let me go. Set fire to my trails. I'm all burned up when daylight comes. But you know where to find me. You're the only one I believe in. Scars as deep can go are heavy on my soul. And you see all I am, but still you aren't letting go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Don't let me go. Was born to run, but don't let me go.
ASL 시즌 10 타임리스. 핫식스 아프리카 TV 콜로세움 라이브 ASL에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
What's up, everybody? We're back here at the ASL. We're going to have the interview with our players, and then we'll be hopping into our best of ones. It's good. We got through the GSL and the ASL yesterday. Had a double day of work. We're back here again, and of course, we're going to be on Tuesday as ASL continues on. Our schedule's been bumping around a little bit here, but we're powering through a lot of esports at AfreecaTV.
Oh yeah, we got great stuff here. Yeah.
So Hyungan says, let's look at our players today. Hello, everybody.
먼저 너무 오랜만입니다. 김윤중
Let's
선수
start with you.
안녕하셨어요.
예, 안녕하세요. 오랜만입니다.
오랜만에 이렇게 ASL 무대를
Excuse me, it's
함께
been a while to
하시게
see you.
됐는데
네.
ASL도 ASL이지만 예선부터 참 쉽지 않았습니다.
네.
오프라인 경기 앞두고 계신 기분이
I know
좀
you had a hard
어떠세요?
time going through the qualifiers. How are you feeling,
우선
Shuttle?
예선을 3코인 만에 올라왔어요.
네.
그것도 거의 다 떨어졌었는데.
That's correct. I actually had to go through all 3 qualifiers to make it here.
조가
But I made it.
괜찮더라고요. 네, 제 생각엔 괜찮은 것
I think I also got here though because my opponents made some mistakes.
그래도 오랜만에 이렇게 김윤중 선수의 경기를 많이 볼 수 있어서
He says when he looks at the group, he's satisfied with this group.
네.
2조의 다른 선수들은
I'm sure that fans were happy to see you.
비밀리에 한 반면에
네.
김윤중 선수는 굉장히 늦게까지 또 연습을 하고
All the other groupie players
참여하면서 좀
have
공개적인
not been
연습을
streaming
많이
and
하셨어요.
have been
네.
practicing
그만큼
secretly, but
자신감이
you have kept your stream
있구나라고
running.
받아들여도 될까요?
자신감이라기보다는
A lot of your information is out there in the
어차피
open.
하루 바짝 한다고 크게 의미는 없습니다. 어차피 여태까지 해온 것들로
Are you feeling confident?
거기 때문에 저는 그렇게 생각하고
It's not just confidence.
즐겼습니다.
그래도 또 시즌 1 챔피언이시기 때문에 오늘 조에 대한
I don't
생각도
think
좀
practicing in
궁금해지네요.
secret a lot for just a few days is going to help.
고조 형님이 그냥 무조건 1등 진출할 것 같고 셋 중에서 이제 하나
Well, then
올라갈 것
what's your
같은데
predictions for today?
당연히 그렇죠.
I would say Best will make it out of the group first,
제가 이기죠. 예. 그래서 제가 2등으로 갈 것 같습니다.
and he says he can probably beat the other 2 players.
진출을 할 것
네,
같다라고
네, 네.
예상을 하고
네, 네.
계시네요.
네.
그래도 지난 시즌에 이어 2시즌 연속도 본선에 합류하고 계신 황병영 선수가 있거든요. 안녕하세요.
So Barracks, you made it to the main stage.
예선까지 간
Good
후에
to see you
본선에
here.
합류했지만 이번에는 첫날에 바로 또 본선 진출을 확정
Last season, you
지으셨어요.
also had to go through all 3 days of qualifiers to get this far. However, this time,
올라왔구나라는 느낌 받으셨나요?
you went through in the first day.
그때 제가 좀 조가 좀
Did you expect that?
그래가지고 좀 솔직히
I think last season my group was pretty hard.
이상하게 게임이 좀
I
잘
thought-
풀려서 원코인에 좀 뚫은 것 같고
If I can make it to the main stage,
가면 갈수록 그래도 좀 실력이 올라오는 것 같아서 자신 있어요.
자신이 있으신 거죠?
I think I was a little bit lucky to make it to the main stage.
지난 시즌에도 굉장히
to get
좀
through here,
많은
just one
분들이
qualifier. So, are you feeling
놀라워했어요.
confident?
깜짝으로 황병영
Yeah,
선수가
sure.
1위 16강 진출을 또
A lot of people were quite
확정지으셨잖아요.
surprised to see you in the last
그때랑
season,
이번 시즌에 대한 좀 느낌은 어떻게 다르세요?
as you made it out first.
솔직히 좀
Anything different you have planned for this season?
네.
그래도
Not really. I think I have
지난 시즌에는
pretty similar feelings to the last season.
어려웠다면 이번 시즌은 그래도
I suppose.
좀 괜찮은 것 같아서
I had a hard time with the maps.
준비도 지난 시즌이랑 뭐 비슷.
Other than that, I guess I'm satisfied.
김윤중 선수는 본인이 2위로 진출할 것 같다라고 좀 대답을 해주셨는데
네.
Basically, he's just saying he's the same feelings.
쉽지
But Shuttle just said he could
않으실
defeat the other 2 players. That includes
네,
you.
그리고 제가 준비를 그래도
What do you think about his comments?
꽤 많이 했거든요.
네.
Well, I don't think it's going to be easy for him to get out of the group. I think it's actually going to be pretty hard.
본인이 오늘 2명 중에
In
한
my
명의
opinion, I think
진출자가 될
I'm going to be the
것
one who's going to make it.
저 확신합니다.
Ooh.
기대하도록 하겠습니다. 도재영 선수와도 인사를 좀 나눠볼게요.
So you're saying you're one of the 2 that can make it to the round of
안녕하세요.
16? He says yes, I'm sure.
선수는 2016년 7월
Okay, let's go to best now.
벌써 10시즌째 이렇게 본선에
So in
함께하고
2016,
계십니다.
in July,
이 꾸준함으로는 정말 타의 추종을 불허하는 느낌이 드는데
ASL season 1,
꾸준함의 비결이
you've
좀
been in every
뭐라고
single
생각하세요?
ASL.
근데
What
그게
is your secret to
좋게
being
말하면
so consistent?
꾸준한데 안 좋게 말하면 이제 성적을 딱히 못 낸 거라서 일단 뭐 아쉽긴 한데 이번 시즌은 꼭 정말 마지막에 생각하고
I guess it's good I have that much
성적을 내고
consistency.
싶고,
The bad part is
기량이 그래도 그렇게
I don't think I'm making the results that I should be.
떨어지지 않는 것 같아요.
delivering.
그래서 많이 게임 많이 해가지고 그래서 계속 올라오지 않았나 싶어요.
I would say my skills have not reduced.
아쉬웠던 것들에 대해서 먼저 말씀을
And I guess that's why I've been able to make it every single
본선에
season.
진출한다는 것 자체가 굉장한 커리어라는 느낌이 들거든요. 근데 최근 몇 시즌 동안 아무래도
Yeah, I think the fact that you can make it every single season.
못했던 기억 때문에 그러시는 것
I'm
같은데
it's certainly something you could
이번
brag
시즌은
about.
그 벽을 허물 수 있을까요?
와 근데 원래 저번 시즌
But you have been having a hard time making it to the round of 16.
네.
이번에는 되게 이 사운드 어려운 것 같아요. 그래서 좀 쉽지 않은데.
I've always had the mindset that I can make it to the round of 16 no matter what. But honestly, when I look at my group,
아니 김윤중
I don't know.
선수가 방금 전에
It seems like it's going to be tough for me.
진출할 것 같다고 또 얘기를 했잖아요.
거짓말이에요.
I would say that my other three opponents are very confident. That makes me a little bit.
방송을 하겠어요. 하루 전까지.
I believe you said confident.
그냥 뭐 자기가 이미 이긴다는 마인드로 온 것 같고.
I was watching Shuttle's stream last night.
이미 확정 진출 짓고 방송 켜서 어떤 멘트.
He also said he has a mindset that no matter what, he's not going to lose to anybody.
후에 방송까지 생각을 하고 있다. 그럼 김윤중 선수가 사실
He was even mentioning on his stream what he's going to be saying during his winter interview.
거다라고 생각을 하시는 건가요, 도재욱 선수는?
네, 그게 맞는 것 같아요.
So he's obviously thinking he's going to make it out of his group.
본인 1위 진출인가요, 2위 진출인가요?
저도 1위 해야죠.
So what is your
벌써부터
take? Can you get out of this group?
이혜원 선수도 또 빠질 수가 없는 선수거든요.
Yeah, sure, I'm going to make
인사를
it
좀
out.
나눠보겠습니다. 안녕하세요.
Let's go to you, Saxary, in the corner. Hello.
와일드카드전에서 패배 이후에 예선에도 탈락하면서 좀 합류는 좀 어려워지게 됐는데
Last season you lost the wild card match.
그래도 팀 리그를 통해서 또 인사를 드렸기 때문에 좀 긴장되거나 하는 마음은 없으실 것 같아요.
You're back here in the ASL.
못 올라왔기 때문에
You participated in offline events several times. How is your confidence level today?
방송 경기를 좀 해가지고
네.
So I couldn't make it last season.
편안한 것 같아요.
그래도 예선이 참 힘들었죠. 3일차
I'm pretty familiar with the broadcasted matches, so I would say I'm fine. I'm confident.
2일차 예선이 끝난 이후의 심정이 굉장히 궁금해요.
You did have a hard time in the qualifiers.
좀 몰렸다라는 느낌을 받았을
You
것 같거든요.
as well went through all three qualifier days.
이틀차
What are you feeling
상대방 그러니까
based off the difficulty in the qualifiers? How are you feeling now?
선수인데
네.
그 약간 일격을 이틀 연속으로 맞아가지고
네네.
So actually,
진짜 게임을 그만둬야겠다.
I did think I lost to some opponents in situations where I probably should not have lost.
3일차에 그냥
Those players that I lost to.
생각을 했는데 그래도 뭔가 한 게 아까워가지고 일단 도전을 했는데.
I think that motivates me
날은 좀
to improve, and
운이 좋게
actually for a little bit he felt like giving up. He said.
네, 다시 돌아올 수 있었어요.
그렇게까지 수세에 몰리는
But I told myself I have to challenge myself and keep trying. I eventually made it here.
멘탈을 컨트롤하는 방법을 좀 배워오지 않았을까 하는 생각도 드네요.
일단 그 대회
I would imagine those struggles
하면서부터 멘탈이 날이 갈수록
was a good learning experience for you.
것 같아요. 그러니까 원래는 멘탈이 좋았는데
네.
대회를 참가하는
Well, whenever I participate in tournaments, I've definitely had my mentality damaged.
갖고 있던 그 멘탈로
I think if I keep a strong mindset,
이제 또 오늘 경기 결과에 따라서 또 제 멘탈이 어떻게 성장을 할지
also I guess it will depend on how the results pan out for
봐야
today.
될 것 같아요.
But hopefully
옆에
I
계신
can keep a
세
good
분의
mindset.
선수들은 본인의 16강 진출을 굉장히 확신하고 계시거든요. 자신 있어 하시는 모습을 보면서 좀 무슨 생각이 드세요?
So all the other three players are very confident. You seem to be in a little bit of a different mindset.
잘하시는 선수들이라
Well, these are all strong players.
저도 근데 자신이 없진 않고
네.
Somehow,
있지도 않아요. 그냥 좀
I could say I'm confident
컨디션에
actually.
따라, 컨디션 좋은 선수가 올라가지 않을까.
It's like half and half
그럼
actually.
결과는
He's oscillating,
좀
guys.
어려울 것 같다라고 생각을 하시는 거네요.
네.
자,
So you think it's hard to predict if you're going to advance? He says, yeah.
팬분들이 보내주신 질문을 선수들에게 좀 전달을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 먼저
Alright, we have some
김윤중 선수에게
fan-submitted
남겨진
questions.
질문인데요. 최근 개인 방송을 보면 실력에 대한 기복이 좀 극과 극이다
Shuttle.
라는 이야기가 있더라고요. 오늘
We've been watching your stream. Your skills are looking very good.
1에서 6까지 숫자 중에 어떤 숫자의 실력이 좀 나을 것 같은지
Okay,
궁금해하시네요.
this is weird. If you were to rank your skill on a number on dice 1 to 6, where would it be at? It's going to be number 6. It's definitely 6.
올라갔다.
그럼 도지혁 선수
When I grab my mouse, my
진출
skills
후의
are at a
방송 내용에 대해서
6.
이미 고민하고 계시는 거죠?
This has to be some kind of inside joke on a stream.
It's because he goes up and down a lot. It's kind of random how strong he is.
2등 가겠습니다.
알겠습니다. 네, 황병현
What are you going to
선수에게
do if you win?
남겨진
What are you going to do in your stream if you win?
황병현 선수와 SK ASL을 진행할 때
Well, Best will get out
빠지지 않는
first. I'll get out
질문이 바로
second.
외모에 대한 질문인 것 같습니다. 아프리카 TV에서 스타크래프트를
Barracks.
하는 BJ를 통틀어
A lot of people have been mentioning that you were very good looking.
순위는 몇 등인 것 같으신가요?
When you
라는
line
질문을
up
남겨주셨는데 매번 참
every
난감해하시는데
StarCraft streamer,
대답을 해주실 수 있을까요?
ranking them off their looks.
너무
어렵죠.
난감한데. 저는 그래도
That's a hard question to answer.
뭐한 3등 안에 들지 않을까요?
Well,
도재욱 선수가 굉장히 야유를 보내는데 도재욱 선수
He
또
said top three.
외모하면 스타 선수들
Best
중에
is top
빠질
three.
수가 없는 선수가
Sorry.
도재욱 선수잖아요.
네, 아니 맞나요?
황병현
빠지는 것
선수가
같은데?
세 손가락 아니라고 했는데
Best, you're one of the
본인의
StarCraft
위치에서
streamers that's been ranked good looking.
한
He said he's top 3.
솔직히
What is your ranking?
네.
이제 뭐 하위권
Objectively,
전반적인
In terms of
네네네.
appearance,
매력 어필했을 때 한 20등 안에 들지 않을까.
20등이요? 너무 겸손하신가요?
I wouldn't put myself at the
그래요?
top.
몇 등 같아요?
저한테
네, 한 많이 겸손하다고 하시니까.
Maybe I'm top
본인
20.
생각과 조금
You're so
다르게
humble.
말씀하시는 것 같아서
저는 딱
What do you think?
김윤중 선수가 참 쓸데없는 얘기를 한다라는
No.
표정으로 인터뷰를 감당하고 계시는데 또안
Shuttle
물어볼
says
수
it's
없으니까
bullshit.
김윤중 선수까지 좀 질문을 드릴게요.
Shuttle, over to you. Why are you laughing?
라고는 솔직히 생각 안 해요. 저도 뭐 제 얼굴 알기 때문에. 근데 한 명은 이깁니다.
I'm not even thinking about the ranking.
한두열이라고 진짜 못생긴 놈 있거든요.
네.
I'm not worried about my appearance.
제가 동의하는 뜻에서 네라고 대답한 건 아니에요. 죄송합니다, 한두열 선수.
동의하시잖아요.
He says
He
he's
says
handsomer than
where?
where.
Handsomer than where? Okay.
It's a big joke that
한두열
Shuttle's the
선수보다는
ugliest
무조건
pro or
본인이 더
something like
잘생겼다.
that. It's
네,
really
그렇죠.
weird.
네, 알겠습니다. 자, 선수들의 재밌는 답변 들어봤고요. 도재욱 선수에게도 좀 질문을 드리겠습니다. 도재욱 선수를
Okay.
응원하는 많은 분들의 염원이
There's
담긴
another
질문이
question here for
아닐까 하는
Best.
생각이 또 드는데요. 경기석에 앉으면 갑자기 화면이
This
까매지는
is from a fan who-
것처럼 느껴질 때가 있다라고 말씀하셨을 정도로 심적으로 좀
Excuse me.
부담을 많이 느끼는 부분도
Last
있으신 것
season,
같은데 이번
you felt a lot of
시즌은
pressure.
대한 극복을 해 오셨는지.
You said that in some of the games, your vision was even getting blurry during the games.
극복 못했지만.
Have you overcome that hardship? I have not actually.
하다 보면 그래서 오늘 그날이 될 것 같고.
네.
네, 오늘 제가
Some days your games are going really well. Other days,
할수 있을 것 같아요.
they're not.
기대하도록 하겠습니다.
But I have
자,
this feeling in my gut that
마지막으로
today's the
이혜원
day.
선수에게 남겨진 질문입니다. 대회에 출전하면서
No matter what happens.
프로토스전이 좀 중요한
Okay, Saxary, a question for you now.
잡았던 경우들이 있었는데 오늘 2조에 있는 프로토스 선수만 2명입니다. 좀 빛을
You've always-
세워 오셨는지.
Excuse me, you've always had Protosses in your past before. Do you have any answer for how to approach the ZVP?
하는지 몰랐는데 대회 나오면서 알았거든요. 근데 일단 오늘은
I didn't realize I played bad against
그래도
Protoss.
준비를 해왔어요. 그래서
But I've noticed that in
프로토스전에 대한
tournaments.
대비를-
네, 그래서
Anyways, I prepared today.
자신 있습니다.
알겠습니다.
Oh, so you have some plans for Protoss? Yes, I do. I am confident.
기대하겠습니다. 고맙습니다.
All right, that does it for the interview, guys. Thank
자,
you.
이렇게 해서 경기를 앞두고 있는
what's up,
24강 2조의
everybody?
4명의 선수들과 이야기
We're gonna do some more StarCraft 1 today. It's good to have ASL back. We had a lot of downtime between ASL Season 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously GSL was going on, but
Yeah, there was some other side content going on, but so happy to be back finally with ASL.
Yeah, this is a shot of our beautiful studio. Hopefully, after COVID is defeated, you guys can come down here and see ASL live. Kind of sad, actually, because the new studio got built, and that was like right when coronavirus broke out. And only you and I and the pro gamers and the other people that work here have actually got to walk around on this. But
That's right.
it's huge. It's in a great area, right underneath the largest building in South Korea, Lotte Tower. It's a good area to hang out all day and then come watch some esports at night.
Yeah.
We got a PC cafe connected to where the studio is, so you can play games there. And I'm really excited to show people this place.
Yeah, it'll be nice when people can finally come back, but really it'll be nice when people can go anywhere and do anything ever again.
It'll be nice we can have several people in a room at once.
Yeah.
We've been hit pretty hard again here with COVID, so we've been in lockdown. We're at the end of the second week of lockdown.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's going to be extended. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
the government's going
probably.
to announce something, but probably. Definitely a good time, though, to be playing games.
Well, that's for
That's
sure.
when you stay inside and play computer games, you're doing your part. You know?
Well, I've been
like that
doing my
Starship
part
Troopers
since
meme.
even before this started.
Yes.
So
You were prepping for the pandemic a long time ago,
a long
Artosis.
time ago. Fits me like a glove.
Yes. So we're going to be hopping into our matches shortly here, but this is a group I think it's a little bit tougher to say who's going to advance.
It is a little bit difficult, isn't
Like,
it?
I think Barracks and Saxery can absolutely advance. I guess the safest bet is Shuttle and Best, right? Oh, by the way, this is Group E. We've had to shuffle the schedule a little bit just for personal reasons for some of the pros. So on Tuesday, just 2 days from now, same time, same place, we'll be going into Group D, and Group C will be after that on Sunday.
Yeah. So this is going to be a good group, though. It is a little bit hard to predict. As they mentioned, Shuttle's play can be a little bit up and down. The games I've seen of him, he looks really strong. Best, in my opinion, always one of the strongest Protosses in the world. So definitely I do have that same feeling Shuttle has, that Best should be making it out. Saxery, I think, is an underrated Zerg. I think he is very strong and can upset anybody. Literally anyone.
Yeah, he knows how to win for sure.
The last ASL that Flash won, Saxery is like the only guy that beat him in the tournament.
That's right.
Took more maps off him than like anyone else, basically. So, and then we have Barracks, who is an underrated Terran. He's pretty strong right now.
Yeah.
He's not like someone to write home about, but definitely someone Terran players have their eye on.
So we're going to be hopping into our games in a second here. Again, this is best of one, so it's very unforgiving. I know this has been a tradition here in StarCraft 1 for parts of these tournaments to have a best of one, but
yeah,
you know, things can go wrong very quickly.
They can go wrong, but it's kind of similar to a best of 3 in StarCraft 2, if you ask me, right? Like, I think that if you're like a StarCraft 2 fan watching and kind of wondering about this, like wherever you have a best of 1 in StarCraft 1, that should be a best of 3 in StarCraft 2. A best of 3 should be a best of 5.
Okay.
Best of 5 should be a best of 7. Because this game is a bit less volatile than StarCraft 2.
Well,
You're
StarCraft
generally
2,
going to have the best players win.
If you get a lead in StarCraft 2, it's much easier to close the game out.
Well, also there's all those like hard counters and stuff where
Right.
things can go drastically wrong
That's
with the build
very
order.
true, yeah.
Whereas here it's like you can kind of wiggle your way through anything if you're better than your opponent.
It's a weird way to put it, but like StarCraft 1 is slower paced, even though you still have to have an insanely high APM. The fights take a little bit longer to occur, and so yeah, there's more room to kind of outmaneuver your opponent.
Yeah, there's not that many hard counters or anything, other than invisible men getting in your base.
That's
you know,
right.
You basically can fight against whatever.
Or Hydra Man kills your buildings.
Yeah,
That's another one.
Hydra Man gets there before your cannon's finished.
Before
things like that can't happen.
Before you're able to make units that can attack. That's another one.
황병영.
So here we go, Barracks. And this is fitting. He picked the K-pop song for a guy who looks like a K-pop star.
Yeah. Barracks, people talk about how handsome he is. I guess those people don't watch Zest in StarCraft 2,
That's
do they?
right.
Because if he saw Zest, he'd probably melt. Okay?
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. When you're this handsome, but you get around someone handsomer, something happens. You know, like if you base your whole life off of being really strong, but then you like run into the world's strongest man.
Yeah, you run into the mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yeah, then suddenly you're like, oh no!
Yeah. He can flip monster truck tires more than I can.
Yeah. Look, this is going to be a kind of fun match. I do like Shuttle's PvT. The PvTs I've seen from him have been pretty strong.
Yeah.
And Barracks is, I would classify him as a little bit more on the aggressive side. He's kind of like part sharp, you know?
Yeah.
Like, for this matchup, at least the games I've seen, I don't watch like, well, actually I do watch a lot of his pro games, probably all of his pro games, but I don't watch his stream that much, so I don't have my finger on his pulse like some of the other Terrans.
Really, so.
I follow every single
This is one of the cool
stream,
things, though, about kind of the era that we're living in with streaming being available.
Yeah.
Is you can actually like really have a much more intimate relationship with a pro and follow them and see how they're playing. It's so cool.
It is awesome.
And now we're streaming Artosis. You guys should hang out with us. Stream it tomorrow, both of us.
You better believe it.
Better believe.
Hey.
Shuttle vs. Barracks for game one here. Again, this is going to be on Ringing Bloom 1.2. I expect probably a quick Nexus here for Shuttle, but you know sometimes these maps that seem to welcome macro games are actually great when you can cheese too. So let's see here.
It'll be cool to see what type of opener Barracks wants to go for, I think, because as far as Shuttle goes, I think he should be going for like a Nexus first play. That's just so good on this map.
Well, Nexus first is one of the strongest builds in the game. I mean, if you can get out, it's crazy what you can get away with too, especially if you do like a really greedy Nexus first.
Yeah.
All right, guys, our game's loaded up. Let's do this.
ASL 시즌 10 게임 준비 완료. 링잉 블룸에서 게임을 시작합니다.
Okay, so we now know the map isn't broken Artosis. They
Yeah,
actually did
finally.
not both spawn on the left side. I was secretly wondering if this was going to be something we figure out halfway through the tournament where they're always spawning on the left.
I know. The odds were definitely against it. But we have Shuttle in the top right, Barracks in the bottom left, so cross spawns. Our first time, as you mentioned, for the map. Ring Bloom, this is a very different map. We have some kind of neutral ringing blooms, I guess. These weird looking Zerg flowery things where you can, they're basically there so that Zerg can defend its choke, but you have that natural in the back of your base that's basically free. So fast expansions are very, very powerful here, very easy to hold.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what you have to expect. I would be quite surprised if Shuttle does not go Nexus first. And as far as Barracks goes, like, okay, he does keep the SCV in, other than like proxying Barracks because you know your opponent is probably going to go Nexus first.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is, he can do just about anything here, right? He could go Command Center first, he could go Gasless Expand, because it's like, well, I guess Shuttle can go for early units, and he does make a gateway. So I guess we'll just see, but he's cross spawned, so he's, in this particular case, I feel like he's missing out on an opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, cross spawns generally tends to favor a game where you're both playing greedy and trying to macro.
Yep.
You want to watch out for stuff like drops and cheese and stuff like that, but yeah, absolutely.
Cross spawn makes it so easy to be greedy. Like,
oh yeah,
if you choose Nexus first or something and you have cross spawns, you're just like, all right, there we go,
yeah,
can't be punished.
Yeah.
And it's almost like that for Terran as well. Like if you're doing, like let's say you're doing a Gasless Expand, which is the most common greedy build.
Yeah.
And you find that's cross spawns, you're great. Look at that. You can't, you know, it takes so much longer to get across the map for Protoss.
The degree of fast expand accelerates your position in PvT. And I mean, there's already plenty of builds where you expand pretty quickly, where you get like one Dragoon and get a Nexus, but when you get it first. But this time around, it's a gateway, and then there's not been a gas taken. And
on Barracks' side, it's Command Center first.
Yeah, so, okay, hold on a second. This is a little bit weird. So is he going to make a Nexus and then a gateway?
Well, I think what he's doing,
excuse me, yeah.
He's going Zealot Nexus,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Now, if he was close spawns, this Zealot would be much more of a problem. But it is cross spawns, and you can do a full wall here, so Barracks won't die to this Zealot, but it's a little bit of a problem. It's a little bit of a headache.
Can you pop a pylon in there to deny the wall in, and then cancel it when the Zealot gets there?
I'm not sure where you could... Yeah, I guess if you made it...
like farther back, like a little bit, you know, you kind of see what I'm saying?
Yeah, it would have to be overlapping with that top depot to the left, and that would make it very, very annoying. I think he probably should have done that.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. This is, you know, if the Zealot gets in there and starts to kill SCVs and it's controlled really well and the Barracks isn't finished, it can be almost game.
Oh,
I mean, it's like...
Yeah, well, if it gets in against Command Center first, you are taking so much damage that your Command Center first has not paid off. But here, you know, it's this map, and we talked about this at the very beginning, the first moments of the game, that these types of builds are very strong.
Yeah.
And now he's made this Zealot, and it slowed down his Nexus a little bit. It's not the end of the world, but Barracks is completely safe, and definitely, build order-wise, has a bit of a lead.
So I'm really surprised that Shuttle went for a play like this. This is kind of cool. And the fact that he's got 400 minerals, is he going to get another Nexus here? Maybe not. Maybe he just let that rise up a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I would be surprised,
I'd be surprised
if he
did
Nexus.
that. Yeah.
That'd be
the greediest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't think that would work. Like, I think that you could basically do anything as Barracks and kill that, I would imagine. But throws on a Robo right in front of the SCV. Can't really wait for that to go away. Just jumping up the tech tree. We see that Shuttle has already gone into a second Geyser. And that should set off Barracks a little bit. Like, what are you going to do with all that gas, right?
Right.
You're going to be jumping up that tech tree very, very quickly.
Yeah, so let's see what kind of game we're going to have here off of the second gas. I don't feel like carriers are good in this position. You're just too far apart. There's too much flat terrain between the two of you.
Not that.
So it's very possible you just go right into Arbiters.
You could go, yeah. You could go straight into Arbiters. You could do a DT drop as well with that, which I think is reasonably likely. And over here, Barracks, he's already thrown down his second factory, as he should be. And we'll see where he goes from there, all right? You actually have a lot of options. He got a lot of scouting done. So he can do things like, he could go into a 4-fact here, right? And if Shuttle takes a third, you just break it instantly.
Yeah, 4-factory push can be really strong.
Even a 2-factory pressure, if Shuttle takes a third base, you would probably knock it down. All right, so there is the 4-fact.
And that's really well placed, by the way. When the observer comes across the map, it's going to see 2 factories initially, and that might be enough to trick the Protoss into thinking he's safe.
Yeah.
When there's actually plenty more they can do.
The tank is out. I like this play a lot, right? Like, this is a great way to play if you have a very fast command center yourself and you're playing against something that is approximately Nexus first. This one's, of course, Gateway Nexus. If you go into 4-factory, you can punish a lot of the greedy follow-ups.
And it's important to remember that, you know, anytime you get a Nexus immediately, the robo was delayed a little bit. So we're going to wait and see when that observer actually gets over to that side of the map. But again, with the factories placed the way they are, there's a chance the Protoss just doesn't move the observer in the right spots and is blindsided by a push.
Yeah, yeah. Well, even if he, like, got map vision right now, looking at what Barracks has, he just has so much more production than Shuttle, right? It's like you could see everything, and still Barracks just has more units. He has 4 factories pumping already, so this is going to be a big problem for Shuttle. Like, look, he's just getting more gateways up. He's on 2 gates, throwing down a Stargate. Like, this might even be a carrier build, actually.
It might be,
which makes him even. It's even
worse. Yeah.
Like if he had
I don't
Dark
think
Templar
it is a carrier
tech,
build.
We don't have a Citadel, right? So it has to be a carrier build.
It has to be either that or he's messed up his build. But I think this is just going to get over here, and maybe crush him, man. I mean, let's see how the control goes.
He might even need to make like a scout or something. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like, he's in some trouble right now. Like, all Barracks needs to do is control this well. His army definitely is looking a bit better. Okay, so he's got to be careful. He's got to be careful. The goons can snipe tanks.
Yeah, it's 8 goon shots to kill a tank, so if you get them 4 shooting on 1 tank, we'll 2-shot it.
Just gets that tank back. He has 5 tanks pushing forward here, laying a few mines down. Shuttle picking off some of these. Okay, good micro there from Shuttle. Has to pick off these mines. He cannot let them hit his goons. Very, very good micro, but look at these SCVs blocking.
These SCVs are so good right now. And it's going to be, what, 4 Dragoons now on the high ground? I think there's 1. Yeah, there is 4 up here. And that number's dropping to the point where there's more tanks than there are Dragoons. He's going to try to seal the entrance. I think this is actually game.
Yeah.
I just don't see any way that Protoss can recover. There's also no Reaver tech or anything that could swing this.
No, this is looking real bad.
And I would not be surprised if a scout pops out and doesn't do much to help, but, you know.
Well, really, when this started coming, like, Shuttle he didn't have the intel. Yeah, that's a scout.
Oh, sure. I'm sorry, he does have Reaver tech coming. Well, let's see how the Reaver can do. The Reaver sometimes will pull off a miracle here. It's out now.
Okay, trying to pick off something here. He needs to make sure that his probe count doesn't get massacred. I think that's probably the most important thing. The Vultures actually run towards that expansion. All right, the Vultures no longer blocking for tanks, so these goons going to start killing them off.
Yeah, this was actually pretty poorly handled here by Barracks. I think he might have wanted to keep it together, but killing his probes is definitely a big win here.
Yeah, the probe kills are amazing for him. Like, maybe he could have eliminated the Protoss army there, but killing a ton of probes is a pretty good move as well.
Yeah, it's hard for the Terran as far as decisions go, like where do you want to send what?
Yeah, it's very complicated because every single time you do a push like this, it's different.
Oh, no, the Reaver!
And look at this, he actually has a scout out.
Yeah, and this scout was basically forced here. This is probably going to be one of the only games we'll ever cast where there's a scout present here.
Yeah, it's very, very rare. Last season in ASL, we had 1 scout made, which was actually a record.
Yeah.
So we have a scout already, but it's the right choice. Like, you want a scout in a situation like this. You normally don't have an armory. You're not really going to build turrets during a push like this. We need to see that scout get into action, though. Like,
yeah, where is it? I'm confused.
I think he just, like, forgot he has it or something. It's not hotkeyed, like it's just sitting there. That's really too bad because, I mean, scouts don't do that much damage, but a scout would help here.
Well, here's the thing, like a scout, the reason why you never see scouts is because they cost too much.
Yeah.
And you're not, I mean, for what you get out of it, it's like, oh, you could have gotten any other unit, this would have been better. But you can use it in certain situations. I mean, right now there's
if
no
you have
Marine.
a scout, it's fine.
He
it's
should
good.
Yeah, he should have that over where the third base would be shooting down SCVs that could make turrets.
Yeah, no, just the scout, put it on a tank, right? Like,
Yeah.
just put damage in. Okay, the scout's going across the map, so, you know, some things have gone wrong for Shuttle, but let's look at what has gone right. He lived through that. He does have his third Nexus, right?
Yeah.
And we saw that just got scanned. Barracks did misplay the position a little bit. I think he didn't realize there was a third base because he could have killed it for free.
Right.
Instead, he pushed up the ramp and then he split his vultures off. So he lost the first set of tanks. He killed some probes at the natural, which made it like okay, but I think he could have done better with this.
No, I think he definitely could have done a little bit more. This is a mistake that Terran players you'll see make sometimes, is they don't know when to fracture off the vultures and hit other locations, and when to keep the vultures on top of the tanks. And I think it's actually one of the most important things that Terrans have to know, is how to, oh, hold on. Big drop coming in here.
All right, well, he gets some zealots out. Oh! 8 kills. Absolute madness.
Yeah, that's like a perfect connect, and he's going to be able to tear down the turrets now so he can even get back out of here with the Reaver.
Yeah, he lost one of his shuttles, but that's okay. He can lose a few
getting
units.
the armory, this is such a good...
And the scout's still doing absolutely nothing. I'm heartbroken that this scout isn't getting work done.
All right, he can actually target the tank here with the Reaver. This is really scary.
Yeah, no, he's doing a very good job right now. This, as far as openers went, Shuttle won that war. But overall, like, I mean, not Shuttle, Barracks won that war, but Shuttle, he kept his cool, and now he's actually getting into a reasonable position.
Yeah, he's going to go for the carriers. Now, I think a lot of people would say, theory-wise, this isn't the most optimal tech, but it's fine. You went into Reavers. Reavers always allow you to get a much safer carrier setup than anything else. Because a Reaver's not a unit that just trades and fights. A lot of times a Reaver well-controlled can get way more value than itself, the shuttle, and even all the Scarabs cost.
Okay, so Overmind Cocoon. Okay, that's exactly what that's called. Let's think about this for a moment. How is this game supposed to look from here? The third base that Barracks has taken is a mineral-only base, so it's not going to help necessarily in Goliath production. Because he went with a 4 factory and made lots of units, I don't think he has his starport or his his science facility. See, okay, yeah, so he does not have a starport. So he's basically going to be playing on 1-0 or 1-1 against these carriers. And you can play with that. Like, you want 2-1 that's like kind of designed to fight against this. But his siege tank count is very, very healthy right now. That's a really important thing to mention because that means he can put a lot of gas in the Goliaths.
Right. Well, Protos's game plan from here on out will be to try to get the other mains, the top left and the bottom right. But for now, he's just going to power up. And there's a pretty serious push coming out here for Barracks. And we got to see how well Shuttle can actually handle this. We want to watch the Reavers here because the Reavers, you know, they can one-shot vultures and 2-shot tanks. And, you know, basically, you could pick like you see here. He fires, he picks up, he runs back, he drops again.
You want to slow this so much. And look, he's getting a few good shots off there. He's got to be careful not to lose the Reavers, though. It's so important. Look, he's picking some units off. Honestly, I think Barracks is dealing with this like in a almost middle goodness way. Like, it's not terrible how he's dealing with it, but he has so many more ground units right now, he can literally just attack move through this.
Yeah.
Lose 4 or 5 units, but get to his base quicker.
Yeah, good. Okay, shoots down
he's
one.
starting to really push through now. I think he's realizing
hard here.
There's just not many units for Shuttle.
Do we have 2 carriers out or 4?
Should be 2 right now.
Okay, so if it's just 2, that doesn't really do much if the player knows it's coming. In this case, he does. Again, another good shot, but this is where the congestion builds up outside this base, and this is a good forking off.
He does have 4.
Oh, I'm
sorry.
Okay, well that might be enough to take this fight, but I don't.
That's a lot of Goliaths.
The carriers can't quite get over to the third base. The 4th has been taken down.
Okay, he's actually got his Zealot speed done here as well. The tanks on the bridge looks like they've been clicked onto the Nexus and now finally attacking the army, but he's losing a lot of the tanks here. The Zealots are on top of the Goliath. Shuttle is going to hold.
This is such
In fact,
good play
the targeting has been poor. Like, he's not even going to kill the Nexus, is he?
No, the Nexus should live.
Yeah, if you have your Nexus live there, the mineral-only base doesn't really matter for Shuttle. The fact that he's got 4 carriers out and has 3 Nexuses up and mining,
well, he knew exactly
super
how to
healthy.
control that. I mean, the carriers each targeted down a tank, and Goliath, by the way, guys, not strong against Dragoon Zealot.
No.
Shockingly strong against carriers, and that's why a lot of the modern carrier play is no longer about just having an insane number of carriers. It's about having enough carriers with enough of a ground army that it's a headache for the Terran to engage. It's one of the harder fights to have in the game.
Yeah, well, he deleted that siege tank count. If the second Nexus had been gotten, it wouldn't be nearly as bad for Barracks here, but losing all those tanks while trying to go into additional upgrades, we see that Science Facility and Second Armory coming up.
Yeah.
When you put those two together, it's like, oh no, that's too much gas for 2 geysers. You literally can't do it.
No, it's
like, look at his gas range. He's got 44 gas. That armory's not spinning, okay?
Yeah.
And he needs a new tank count because he lost a huge amount of them.
Yeah.
He lost like 10, 12 tanks there. And with 2 geysers, you can truthfully afford 2 factory siege tank.
The Scout's still in the game, by the way.
Oh, thank God.
We got box art fights here.
Oh,
he's got to be careful. By the way, if Goliaths just catch your carriers off guard, you will just shoot one down immediately.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit surprised.
Why the hell are those out in the middle of the map?
Why are there not Dragoons under them as well?
Yeah.
I mean, I think what he should do is try to get above the natural, that free base in the back, and just start picking on that, because there's not a lot Terran can do about it.
Yeah, a move like that would be nice.
Is the Scout going to get a kill? No, of course not.
This Scout could have done a lot this game.
It's got +2 attack, Artosis.
It does. It does. Okay, well, the Vulture's going around and trying to deny other expansions. Looks like Barrack's going to take a couple more, too. Obviously, he has a lot of minerals since he does have those 3 bases, and most of the things he's trying to get cost gas. So if he can get all those gases up, that's going to be fantastic. The Scout doing what it does. It's scouting.
Oh!
Yeah, it's going to try to fight this turret. It's going to get wrecked, though. Yeah, get out of here, Scout.
Look how slow it is.
There's a speed upgrade for it.
I know.
He should get it.
Yeah.
You know what might be even better, though, is the vision upgrade.
That'd be better for scouting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Yeah, that's basically the worst upgrade in the whole game, right? Scout vision. Is there anything that's worth less than a... I don't think there is.
Yeah, I think that's straight up the worst upgrade in the whole game.
Speed upgrade's actually pretty good for it, though, if you had to have a situation.
Oh,
where you
yeah,
use
no,
them.
speed upgrade's
Speed
good.
Scouts are actually quite good.
Well, I mean, all the Scout upgrades, that's the second worst upgrade in the game cases.
So now we're in the final form here of the carrier build where you have Templars. Because you force them to make Goliaths, you can basically treat the Goliaths like they're Hydralisks and storm them. And, you know, even though this game has definitely not been a perfect play on either side, it's been really good.
Yeah, I know. It definitely has. Very back and forth here. Some clutch holds from Shuttle. The thing is, I feel like you can see a lot of power from Barracks. He does good builds. He has good mechanics. Just some of the decision-making has been a little bit off on what to do.
Well, like, he didn't kill that Nexus the first time. I think he actually could have done a much better job in the fight before as well. Yeah, he hasn't handled this as well as he could have, I think.
No, certainly. Because he did have the advantage early on, so definitely things went wrong. So now Storm coming down with the Zealots, with the Goons, with the Carriers, and there's no way that Barracks can hold on from here anymore. He doesn't have the type of army that he needs.
Yeah, I mean, Shuttle's done a really good job this game. This shows you why this guy is such a strong player. GG, Barracks taps out, and Shuttle will go on to the winner's match.
Yeah, good holds from Shuttle overall. I think that there was mistakes where his Scout wasn't attacking things, and he made like a flub in the middle with the Carriers being by themselves. But other than that, he played well. He made good decisions. He moved around correctly. Barracks, you can see he's definitely disappointed in himself because, I mean, any Terran player looks at that position. He had such an advantage with the 4-fact. Like, he could have killed the Nexus. He could have traded better. There was a lot that went wrong for him to lose.
Shuttle was just a little bit too slippery that game for Barracks to ever end it.
Yeah.
And, you know, Shuttle knows how to bounce back. You can see Shuttle's shaking his head there. I think he knows he definitely made some mistakes in that game.
Well, he could have lost that for sure.
So Shuttle wins.
Yeah.
And now we're going to go to our next match.
That was a nice game, though. That was really enjoyable. That was, very nice stuff. And, I mean, going to the loser match in this group is pretty tough, isn't it?
Yeah, no kidding. All right, guys, up next, Best vs. Saxery.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 리케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
거기 들어와. 그 밑에 걔 잡고. 나이스. 자, 씨. 됐어.
미안해, 로우나. 화났어?
미안해. 내가 해줄게.
아, 잠깐 내가 누르면 안 돼. 누르면 안 돼 지금. 자, 경표가 무슨 소리야?
좋은 시간 되세요.
From the beginning.
Hit it, boy.
고고! 핫식스!
성능을 대용량 배터리로 언제 어디서나 더 오래 즐기다. 72Wh 대용량 배터리, 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준, LG 울트라 기어. 듀얼 메모리, 듀얼 저장 장치, 고성능을 듀얼 업그레이드로 더 오랜 기간 즐기다.
상큼한 복숭아가 사이다를 더 청량하게, 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
ASL 시즌 10 타임레스.
ASL 시즌 10 24강 2조 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 첫 번째 경기에서는 김윤중 선수가 승리하면서 승자전에 먼저 진출했는데요. 오늘의 두 번째 경기 전해드리기에 앞서서 온라인으로 시청하고
All right, we're here. Whoa, we almost didn't make it back in time.
Wow!
Whoa! You'd think a commercial break would be enough time to pee. But no, we started running.
No, well, here's what really happened. We were so excited after that first match. We went out with our mouse pads and made Shuttle sign, and we were like, "You're so great!"
Right. And we were shaking. We did.
Who's the handsomest programmer, Shuttle? But here we are.
So we just walked across the studio to go to the bathroom, only to, as we're zipping our pants up, the music that cues, which means
plays,
yes.
Whew.
It's good. Got a little workout here.
We sprinted back.
Caster stretches here, right?
Yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
A little bit of this.
A little bit of this.
A little bit of this. Some of that.
I guess we can't go pee after the first break. That is way too short.
It's fast.
That's never happened to us before.
Never.
That's the first time.
Over 10 years casting here. Okay. So, onwards. This next match I think is going to be great. We have Best, who is one of the best Protosses in the world, for sure. Has been for a really long time. But no, I have such deep love and respect for this guy. I think he's basically my favorite Protoss. Like, he's just...
Yeah, he's cool, too. We've gotten to hang out
Oh,
with him.
he's... Yeah, actually,
Charming
that's true.
guy.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
He's
we had
one of the
Soju with him.
nicest pros.
Yeah.
He's really super friendly and kind.
But,
When Tasteless asks him for replays, he doesn't just scoff at him.
Yeah, he goes, yeah,
like
sure,
most of the
give me your
pros
email.
do.
And I'm like, thanks, Best. And I get my nerd wiggles. I go, oh, you're so cool, you're so cool, you're so cool. But he's going up against Saxery, and I will tell you something. I think that Saxery can definitely take this.
Yeah, we see
he's a dirty Zerg.
Sometimes. Definitely comes up with some interesting builds. Saxery, though, he's really strong. I mean, this guy is actually a tournament winner from StarCraft 2, come back to StarCraft 1, and he's had some pretty good results, I would say. Yeah, I mean, he's not the favorite of the group or anything, but I feel like he can make it out.
Well, he has a very low win rate against Protoss, but I don't think that really represents that much,
yeah,
you know?
No, not that much. These are the absolute best players in the whole world, so like when you see stats like that, you should take it with a little grain of salt.
Yeah, I agree. Again, we're going to be on Ringing Bloom. This is game 2 out of our 5 games today. Best versus Saxery.
링잉 블룸에서 게임을 시작합니다.
So in the top right, we have best. And in the bottom right, Saxery. Finally someone spawned in the bottom right.
Yes!
I wasn't even sure if that was a starting spot.
Yeah, it could have been a 3-player map for all we know.
All right.
So, you know, a lot of the same ideas that we had in the previous game. I mean, look, you get a free base in the back. Some Zergs will occasionally take that base later because Zerg can almost basically always get their first base up no matter what. So you might as well take the position that's harder to take.
Yeah.
I don't know how trendy this is now, but I know this has been a thing in the past.
That mineral base we did see yesterday was so incredibly hard to hold because it's so wide open there. Yeah. Snow just demolished Yoon on this map.
Yeah, no, Yoon got Hulk smashed.
Yeah. That right there is a 7 pool.
Well, did someone say dirt?
Well, yeah,
Filth?
Actually you
Mud?
did.
Yeah,
no, you actually,
down and dirty.
You said he was a dirty Zerg,
Yeah.
and here he is.
This is the kind of dirt you can't wash off. No matter how many times you scrub, no matter how much soap you use.
It's permanent dirt?
It's perma-dirt.
It's the dirt my mom didn't want me to play in?
Yeah.
Especially on the sofa?
Yeah, not on the white couch, not on those cushions.
All right, well, I mean, a 7 pool. How does 7 pool stack up against a gateway?
Not, well, let me see.
What are you looking for with 7 pool?
This is 1 gate, right? It's
Yes.
not, okay, he's not going to get a 2nd gate because there is builds where you go gate 10, gate 12. And if you go gate 10, gate 12, you laugh so hard you die because you just have zealots and probes and it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, never do anything.
No. Gateway first, we actually have to watch really carefully and see if Best is going to notice the Lings surround his first Zealot. Because what happens is you're usually having the Zealot move out.
Yeah.
Because you're assuming that it's going to be something normal, like overpool or hatch on 12 or whatever. And of course, you know, even a 9 pool can be scary, but you just don't attack. You just stay back. But the 7 pool, watch the timing of this. It'll come out.
It's going to slip past this probe, and another drone is actually coming. So is this
the drone
going to be a
leading.
sunken rush as well?
Oh,
yes.
I was actually thinking the drone was just there to lead to absolutely make sure, but no, I think you're completely right. And this is...
Oh, this is going to be
the
awesome.
kind of dirt that you just can't clean. There it is.
And there we go. Oh, he actually blocked it, but there's a second one, and he pops that one in.
The Lings come through. Can they get a surround on this Zealot?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Probes are pulled again here. He needs to wait for that second Zealot to come out. The angling here is very good for Best. If he can just kind of body block with the probes. Probes are expendable. You just need to keep the Zealots alive. But there should be, we can't see it, but I think the sunk is still making?
Yeah, it's got 114, so it's actually going to basically explode as it finishes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
there you go. So it took 1 hit there to kill that one off. I think it's basically held.
I think it's held.
Yeah, that's it.
He didn't lose any Zealots the entire time.
I love the idea, though.
No, it's great, but
if it was not a Zealot expand, like if it was Forge Hearse, I bet you that breaks it.
So from here, all the Protoss has to do is keep making probes and Zealots, of course, And the problem is right now, and I don't know if the probe got any kills there, but there's a great trick right as they come in. You right-click your probe on their workers because they're so busy microing.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll kill like two drones. Crazy. Even at like really high levels.
So look at this, splitting the wings off now. I guess he's going to go for the pylon. If he could kill the pylon, it would reduce the amount of zealots that are out. So
well,
maybe
if
that
he kills
would
the pylon, he could actually win the game. I mean, you still cannot afford to lose his pylon.
I feel like if you kill the pylon, he makes a cannon in his mineral line, and it's like you're still making wings.
Yeah, but I mean, it's much, much, much worse. All he has to do is keep probes alive and the pylon alive.
Cannon coming up here.
So he's going to try to run around, and then when the zealots are not near the cannon, he'll try to dive on that. Best, of course, knows that's coming.
Saxry.
Fourth zealot.
It's not working, Saxry, man. I don't know what you're going to do from here. Well, he's killed a few probes.
He's going to go for the cannon now. This is a pretty big
you
mistake
don't want
by
that
Best.
finish.
Oh, he's going to actually save it. Nicely done. Okay, so the cannon's done, and then with the cannon being done, you can't run around anywhere near as much with your
much shorter area. He actually kills off his zealot. It's kind of nice.
Yeah, but
not
this
going
is
to get this one.
No, he's done too much of a good job. And the problem now is that Zerg did not get that many drones early on, and you got to think of how few workers you start out with in StarCraft. That's why this rush was so crazy when it came out. But now the Zerg can counterattack. Sorry, the Protoss can counterattack the Zerg. And it's funny that you actually want to force them to keep making lings because the Protoss can both make zealots and probes and accelerate in these two different directions, while the Zerg has to have enough to hold.
Yeah, and even if you were to lose all your zealots there, that's going to be good.
It's fine.
Like, yeah, you're still ahead.
Yeah, it sounds weird, but it's totally okay.
The same thing exists against like 4 pools, 5 pools, 6 pools as Terran. Like, if you just make a bunch of Marines and counterattack, even if they kill them with lings, that's just they didn't make drones.
Because
so
you're still making SCVs. Everything comes from
Same
larva in
exact
this game.
yeah.
So now he's going to run behind, and this is where it's just a better angle for the zealots to fight. The lings can't fight efficiently. They are fighting like a narrow hallway.
Yeah.
And that
Spartan
one's
zealots.
Yeah, Spartan zealots.
Ooh,
I love he's hiding that. That's great. So he's going to go and just try to kill these off. Best is being really, really patient here. And see these angles? This is so bad for the lings.
Yeah, I love how he's done that. He's actually set himself up for this. Very tough situation. I do want to mention, because I'm sure some people are looking at this, they're like, why the hell do they have creep at the front of the base like that so that Zerg can try a rush like that? And the reasoning behind that is you need a place that you can build your static defenses, Zerg, when you expand, right? So normally the natural is in front of the ramp to the main, and you can just build sunkens there. It's important for every matchup. So because your natural is in the back of your main base, they put that creep there, because if they did not, there would just be super abusive builds to kill Zerg every game.
Yeah.
So yeah, it does open up a possibility of a rush like this, but like you can see, it's not sickly imbalanced or something, right? Best held it.
I'm surprised that Zealot did not get spotted, but it's fine. Saxry held it off. No problem. But right now, it's fair to say that Protoss is ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Anytime you hold this off, what you're really thinking is, I just need to do my build perfectly. And the math is on my side. So that was a risk. Again, you know, Saxry doesn't know if it's going to be Gate first or Forge first, or maybe even a Nexus first, blind Nexus.
Yeah, it could be.
That happens in tournaments. And I imagine if that's Forge first, I think you would probably die.
I think so.
Right? It just seems like
because it's only probes fighting.
It was not something I was really thinking about until we saw it there. But yeah, Best handled it really, 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 really well. And I believe that's a complete airtight entrance there. There's no way to really get in. And he's hit 2 more Zealots. I love this.
Yeah. It's really nice. Because Zerglings are so far out of position, you just have to run the drones.
Yeah, and he's going to send 1 Zealot to each location.
Yeah. That's so painful. Look at this. Tons of lost mining time starting now.
Yeah, he might even have this Zealot go to the third base. Or maybe he's going to go to the main here.
You can go anywhere. It's just
there's so many ways
everywhere.
to do this. And this also gets to scout a layer and a den. And it's like, just there's so much.
Yeah, even losing it, like, right? Even if these kill it, you see Hydras being made, you see that there's a layer.
This is so funny because there's one Corsair hitting stuff, and it's like the Zealot is basically just running around chasing the Hydra. And so he's going to get an Overlord kill. And this is, you know, You don't normally see fights that look like this with slow lots, but that's all because of the 7 pool. Is now he can start to kill the Overlords, and this is where the damage starts to really mount. Hydra speed, even if it gets done, it's like the Zealots are so tanky. I mean, Zealots are funny units in the early game because they're really hard to kill. You need like so many hits, it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
And so now he's going to supply block him, so he can't get more Hydras. The Overlords are actually hatching over where the Zealots were fighting.
Things are getting worse, is what I think you're trying to say.
Yeah, it's just, this is where things start to compound.
Yeah, I mean, just this pressure, it feels like just a beautifully executed hold from Best.
Yeah.
You know, he's followed all the things that you mentioned. This is just continual production of probes, of Zealots, of Corsairs, and keeping the pressure on, leaning on him.
Look at this. He's going to get the Overlords now.
Supply block.
By the way, Zealot speed is eventually going to finish here. If Best is not missing any teching. It's crazy because he's doing so much at once here.
Dude, and this is just getting absurd.
This is brutal.
Yeah.
And again,
40 of 19.
The Zealots are expendable here. Yeah, and now I think that's like literally the last Overlord on the map.
It is. He's down to 40 of 3.
Yeah.
Literally no detection, no Overlords.
Yeah.
Hatcheries only give 1 supply in this game.
Yeah, and so he has to make so many more before he can even get anything out here.
He's just destroyed. I can't even...
Well, this is a great game, I think, even just for educational purposes. Like, here's what happens after you get 7 pulled. Because for a lot of lower ranked players, it looks like, oh, there's nothing I can do. But again, he just doesn't have any drones. You know?
Yeah,
like
he can't even produce anything. Look at these, 39 of 35. He's sitting here for days making Overlords.
Yeah. I mean, Best is already at 70 supply here. He's just looking for anywhere he can dive in. Saxery doing a pretty good job, actually, of just trying to get rid of these Corsairs here. And it's funny because, like, only just now he gets up into the 51 cap. So he's just now been able to make units. Now, the whole time, Best has been producing.
Yeah, he's going to bring some speed lots down.
Look at the Corsairs fanning out on the map. He's just seeing if there's any free Overlords. Because a lot of times there's like 1 Overlord in the bottom left or something weird like that.
Yeah. Some
stray Overlord out there and you just get a free kill on it.
Well, should he bring him back with the speed lots?
Yeah, he will. 100%. Now, I actually think Saxery did such a good job here, he might not be killable for now.
Yeah.
We'll see, but...
Seems like he has enough Hydras to hold off the current number of speed lots, but more are coming. Oh, yeah, some high Templars.
Oh, there's Templars here, too. Okay, maybe he actually will be all right. And the problem is all the Overlords are in the front here because they need to be protected by the Hydras. But when a fight happens, the Hydras will prioritize hitting the Overlords over... I'm sorry, the Hydras will prioritize hitting the Corsairs over... I can't talk
the
today.
Zealots over
the Zealots over the
Corsairs.
Corsairs, thank you.
Yes.
And so then you get to once again bury the Zerg as far as supply goes. Great Storm there.
Ooh.
Storming a little bit of his own Zealots here.
Well, that's the Protoss standard.
Yeah.
Okay, so another Storm going off.
Yeah, and there's another good spot. There it is to Storm. And now the Corsairs are just going to start shredding up all these Overlords again. And once again, Saxery is supply blocked here.
Well, the Zealot's going to clear up some of that supply for him. He is making some Lurkers to try to stay in this game somehow.
Yeah, Lurkers might be too little too late, though. The Zealots can just go wherever the Hydras are not. We might even have a Storm over here on the drones. GG, Saxery taps out as Best moves on. So we got a winner, PvP for the winner's match.
Yeah, that's right. Eclipse, we're going to be seeing PvP coming up between Best and Shuttle to see who gets out in first place in this group.
Yeah.
And in the loser match, a TVZ.
Good stuff. I approve. And then we'll have either a PVZ or a PVT.
Yeah,
the final match.
yeah, that'll be interesting to see who actually wins that turn for Zerg as well. Between Shuttle and Best, do you have a favorite for PvP?
No, I think they're both really good.
Okay.
Yeah. PvP is a weird one too. I mean, we really got to see what builds they elect to do. But I'm excited for it for sure.
No, that'll be fun. That'll be fun. We haven't had any PvP yet this season.
Yeah, Saxery would have really...
Still early, but...
Yeah, it's okay. Got to get it out. Get it out soon. Guys, we're going to go to a short break. When we come back, the winner's match, Best versus Shuttle.
We could have it all. Got you shining bright with the diamonds. Make your body move to the
성능을 언제 어디서나 가볍게 즐기다. 지포스 GTX 1650 그래픽 최신 인텔 10세대 프로세서 탑재. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
라면이요.
이게
나왔습니다.
잠깐만 들어주세요. 빨리 나와요 이거.
음료 나왔습니다.
From the beginning.
Tickled pink that things aren't going my way, cause that would be boring. Spend my last cent on cheese and champagne. What a wonderful morning. Never mind, she declined to the first date. It was only on my birthday. Never mind all the lines on the highway. Give me time to reflect a bit, cause I'm just having a good day. Having a good day. Having a real good morning. I'm just having a good day. Having a good day. Having a real good morning. Real good morning. Real good morning. I guess that things can only get better from here. But sometimes I wonder, I might have met the love of my life, but I lost a number. Never mind, she declined to the first date. I went to Vegas with a roommate. Never mind all the lines on the highway. I aim to misbehave, cause I'm just having a good day. Having a good day. Having a real good morning. I'm just having a good day. Having a good day. Having a real good morning. I'm just having a good time. Having a bad day, yeah. A real good morning. A real good morning. A real good morning. I'm just having a good day. Having a good day. Having a real good morning. I'm just having a good day. Having a good day. Having a real good morning. A real good morning. A real good
We're back this time. We were never even gone. Not after that commercial break from before. We're not going to go to the bathroom until this show is over. Guys, we're going to go to the winner's match here. PvP. And I don't know if there's really a favorite here. I'm excited because the map is Eclipse. Any one-on-one map, PvP can be really, 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 really cheesy.
Okay, okay.
The cheese that Protoss used to kill Zergs and Terrans, they can kill Protoss with it as well. So we may have proxy gates. There's a lot of different iterations of that as well. Or we could have a very standard PvP. This is a map where Goon-all-ins tend to not be that great.
Yeah.
You know, any map where you can just run back up a ramp, it's probably not a great idea to go for it. Some of these maps that are flat, like Neo Silphid or anything like that, a Goon Rush can just kill somebody even at the highest level. But let's see. I'm looking forward to seeing what a PvP between these two players is going to look like. And our game's actually ready. All right, this is game 3 on Eclipse. Let's go.
시즌 10 게임 준비 완료. 이클립스에서 게임을 시작합니다.
So we have in the bottom left, Best. Top right, that leaves us Shuttle.
So I don't know if we're going to have rushes or not, but we might as well talk about it in PvP. One funny thing about this matchup is the juxtaposition of the strength of Zealots, which for a starter unit, especially without any upgrades, is like the best thing ever. Right? It's so strong, it's very easy to control. You juxtapose that to the Probe, which is so weak, especially against a Zealot.
Yeah.
I know that Probes can like harass SCVs that are making stuff, but this is a different matchup here. And so you want to watch out, because if you do get rushed, Probes die insanely fast.
Yeah, they do.
But in this game, neither player has elected to go across the map to make a pylon in the main, so we're not going to have one of those games. So no proxy 2 gate or proxy 1 gate or any of that stuff.
For Eclipse, is there like something you lean towards? Like, is this a Reaver map?
I think you can go Reaver, you can go DT. I think they're all fine.
Okay. And is it generally a 2-base map, or do you actually get up to 3 pretty often here?
I don't know if that's how PvP really works. I think, I mean, if the game goes on, you get a 3rd. Yeah, I mean, basically in all PvP, you have to see, all right, is there an all-in, and will it be held?
Yeah.
You know, and then if it's not, well, I mean, I should say if it is, then all you're trying to do is go into more of a macro game, right? But there's definitely these games where people will just, and there's a lot of different ways to do, like it's an all-in against some builds and not against others. Like you can absolutely kill a guy who's fast expanding by skipping observers and getting Reavers and a shuttle and Dragoons, and you just have more there, and you can take them on, but you'll die to DTs, right?
Yeah.
And so I think once the core finishes, then we can start to really navigate where this is going. If it is going to be a game with a lot of bases, these bases are pretty harassable. The natural on both spots is pretty easy to drop.
Yeah.
The main's not very easy to get into, but you can do damage there.
Okay.
And so we're going to have Best come up here and scout the upper right.
Shuttle a little bit slower on his gas intake here. Does that mean anything in particular?
Does
That's
he
how
have
you
2 on
optimize
gas
your
here?
gas? I think he just went on later to gas, like started with 1 and then went up.
Yeah, let's see. Maybe there is something to this here. And with the Zealot out over here, you don't want to bother. If you matter pylon, you need to cancel it before it finishes.
Yeah, looks like Goon starts there, both sides. Or, well, this side only right now, because the Cybernetic score is quite a bit later on Shuttle's side.
Yeah.
So is this, like, the build that he's doing, right, with the later Cybernetic score and the slightly slower on the gas, is this just, like, is he skipping, like, 1 or 2 less probes or something like that?
Well,
like he's
making, he scouts a little bit later, or scouted a little bit later.
He got 2 Zealots as well.
Yeah, yeah. So this usually means he's probably going to fast expand.
Okay.
You get a Robo.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense.
You have like a few more guys to fight on the ground with the 2 Zealots.
Yeah.
Zealots complicate micro a little bit more.
Yeah, they have higher DPS than Dragoons do, right?
Yeah, yeah. And so you have to micro away from them.
Yeah.
Like a Dragoon does more damage, but a Zealot attacks faster.
Yeah, and Dragoon damage is explosive, so it actually doesn't kill Zealots all that quick.
Yeah. And so when you have, now, there might be some tricky thing Shuttle's going to do from this. Like, he's getting a Citadel instead.
Oh.
So what's unique about this is that it's a later DT rush, but it's made to look like you're going to go for an expand.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you know, a lot of PvP is like trying to hedge your bets. Or trying to, you know, you're like, okay, if I can make it look like this and trick him into thinking that he's got a read, and then I do something different, I might just steal the win. And you can see now Best is expanding. We got to see if he's going to get a Robo here. Now, one thing about this build, and I'm not sure if it's I'm 100% right on this, but Since he's getting the second gateway, he might even go into Dragoons with range after this. You can actually not die to DTs if you on maps with a small ramp, even if you don't get detection, because you can make your DT block your ramp so they can't get in there.
Ah, yeah.
So it's like this funny thing where...
Totally. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah.
Like is there a trick where you can displace the DT if you morph Dark Archon?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's but I mean
I could have sworn I saw that once. So.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, it happens a decent amount. It's a pretty good trick to know. Now, Best poked in here, and I think he's looking at this and saying, okay, there's no Nexus yet, and obviously Best's Nexus is almost done. I'm sorry, Best is just going to die, right? Yeah, this is over.
Unless he throws a Forge down right now.
We can do whatever we want, Artos. We can talk about cartoons now if we want to. It doesn't matter. So
we are talking about a cartoon, Tasteless.
This is basically a really good fake by Shuttle. He made it look like it was the Robo Expand.
Well, when you see no Nexus, what are you thinking? Are you like, oh, he's on 3 gate? Like, what is the...
Well, you know something's coming.
Well, but he's not, like, even trying to get detection, right?
Yeah, because he's just saying, well, I'll lose if he goes DTs, but I could probably keep a lead and hold off. Because the problem is he can also be a Dragoon Reaver push, right?
Yeah, okay. So he's, like, preparing for that, basically.
Yeah, yeah. He's trying to get enough goons, excuse me, to basically duel the other Dragoons and Shuttle away and buy time, and then he pretty much wins. Now, this probe is going to sneak in here, but it doesn't matter. I mean, there's nothing you can do with this. This is basically a delayed DT rush. It's super advanced.
And as soon as he hears the DT swipe, right? That's gonna, he just GG.
Yeah, that's it. GG. All right. Sometimes PvP looks like that. So
invisible men are pretty good.
Let me try to unpack this a little bit more. Usually players, when they DT rush, try to get the DTs out as fast as humanly possible. And that was a build where he got gas a little bit later. You know, he was making more probes. A lot of times you start to discount DTs as an option. And because, you know, you're always trying to cut corners in PvP, Best says, okay, I think you're going to expand or go Reaver, do something else. You don't seem to be in a hurry to get DTs. Let me just make sure I can hard counter your Reaver push. Or just get more goons out and expand more quickly, and he fell for the trap. And that means we're going to go to the losers match.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. We'll have an interview here with Shuttle in a moment. Wow. Okay. Well, it's. I want to say it's cathartic to see a good Protoss player lose to Invisible Men instantly, but it's. I only feel sadness, Tasteless, for poor Best because I think he's such a strong player.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're not getting detection in PvP, I mean, that's the other side of the scumbag coin, really. In PvP is complete
the greed
skipping.
Scumbag.
It's the greed. Yeah. It's just you're like completely factoring out that possibility.
2조 경기 함께하고 계십니다. 오늘의 첫 번째 16강 진출자, 돌아온 챔피언이죠. 김윤중 선수 만나보겠습니다.
Our first player to advance from the group is Shuttle. Congratulations, he says. Thank you.
좋은 경기력으로
Wow.
가장 먼저 16강 진출을
That was amazing performance.
아까 경기 전 인터뷰에서 좀 약한 모습을
You made it out of the group first.
심리전이었을까요?
아니 그게 진짜 약한 모습이었는데.
When you had the pregame interview, you were saying that Best would advance first. Was that part of your strategy? No, I really thought he would actually probably beat me. But my strategy worked out, so here I am. It's been a while to see you in a performance like that. Yeah, a lot of my people were saying, just be comfortable and relax and you'll play well. And that'll bring better results. So I got to say, I'm very happy with how today went. We saw very smooth, clean play.
선수가 SCV까지 동원하면서 거의 끝내겠다는 마음으로 좀 공격을 왔었어요.
Let's talk about the game you had against Barracks.
방어가 쉽지는 않았는데 그때
Even when Barracks pushed you, he had SCVs blocking your Dragoons trying to run up the ramp. What was going on through your head when Barracks was attacking you? I thought, wow, I couldn't even get a good read on the situation. So I thought, oh, this loss is going to be all my fault. But he did make a lot of mistakes in that game. He was obviously nervous too, just like I was. And because he made that mistake, I was able to capitalize on that and win.
리버로 굉장히 시간을 잘 끌어주면서 캐리어 모으는 시간 시간까지 잘
Yeah, I could feel that you're very composed.
넥서스가 깨질 때만 해도 좀 불안하지 않을까 싶었는데 오히려 좀 내줄 건 내주자 하는 마음이었나요?
You had 2 carries, you pocketed them until you were able to show 4.
막혔을 때 이미 제가 좀 승기를 잡았고 그래서 승기를 잡으니까 좀 침착해진 것 같아요.
Yeah, but he was a little bit all in the early game. So I felt after I held it and I stabilized, I should be able to get the upper hand at some point in time. But anyways, I think he was just very nervous. I could feel it in the game.
이번에는 승자전에서 도재욱 선수의 허를 제대로 찔렀습니다.
So it seems like after the first match, you're pretty warmed up.
다크를 보자마자 거의 바로 좀 지지를 쳤는데 오히려 상대방의 심리를 한 번 더 이용한 이런 다크 좀 생각을
You brought some really great strategies. You did a lot of mind games.
그래서 그런 거를 어떻게 저도 안에서 최대한 이용해 보려고 노력하는데 이번에 조금 이제 평소에 저는 다크를 잘 안 쓰는데.
Yeah, I tried to. They make it look like I was doing something else. And when I practice and play, he says when he practiced it back at home, it didn't work, but when he did today, it worked. What are your goals for this season? Well, when I was discharged from the military, I didn't have any goals. I want to make it at least to the group nominations. Now that I made it to the group nominations, I'm feeling a little bit more greedy.
정말요?
Maybe we can even get to the semifinals or higher. I don't know. Queen said he would pick me first if I advanced. So hey, Queen, if you're watching, I'm ready to punish you.
김윤중 선수 오랜만에 등장뿐만 아니라 경기력까지 굉장히 팬들이 반가워하고 계실 것 같습니다. 팬들에게 계속된 응원을 좀.
I'm sure the fans are very excited to see you advancing in the ASL. Do you want to have anything? Sorry, do you have anything you want to say?
대회 결과에 너무 속상하지 마시고 좀 믿어주세요.
I know you guys have been disappointed about my performance in general, but
믿어주시고 또 앞으로 좀 잘 봐주셨으면 좋겠습니다. 감사합니다.
Don't say spiteful words to me. Trust me. I'll have great performance in the future in offline events.
자, 이렇게 해서 오늘의 첫 번째 16강 진출자 김윤중 선수와 함께했고요.
All right, well, congratulations.
진출자와 함께 돌아오겠습니다.
That's the interview. Cool. All right, so we're going to have the elimination match now. Barracks vs. Saxery after this short break.
이상한데? 그렇게 작아. 너무 안 보이는데? 보이지가 않잖아. 쓸 수가 없는데? 아니, 저 키워보라고.
성능 17대 화면으로 언제 어디서나 더 크게 즐기다. WQXGA 초고화질의 17대 화면, 16대10 최적의 화면비. 고성능 노트북의 새로운 기준 LG 울트라 기어.
잡아 킬 흐림님 힐 그렇지 나 힐 2점 수리끈 온다 잡아 바닥 바로
From the beginning. Hit it, boys.
디자인을 하면서 가장 중요하게 생각했던 부분은 울트라 기어의 차별화된 브랜드 메시지를 잘 나타내는 것입니다. 신과 영웅들의 최강의 무기들을 검토하였습니다. 그중 니케의 승리의 날개를 모티브로 지금의 울트라 기어의 로고가 탄생하게 되었습니다. 울트라 기어의 이니셜인 U와 G를 비상하는 날개의 형상으로 레드 색상을 사용하여 강력한 에너지와 힘을 나타내었습니다. 울트라 기어는 최상의 퍼포먼스로 진정한 게임의 즐거움, 승리의 기쁨을 여러분께 선사할 것입니다.
싱그러운 청귤이 사이다를 더 청량하게. 새로움을 마시다.
실성 사이다.
울트라 기어로 선명하게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
Welcome back to ASL. We've got two
speed run
players.
edition, man.
Yes, we have two players left.
Well, 3 players left.
Well, 2 players now, and we're going to get rid of one of them.
Yeah. All right, it's going to be Barracks, who, you know, we just saw from Shuttle interview. He agrees that Barracks made some mistakes in their match. Definitely could have taken that first game, so maybe he's a bit nervous.
Yeah. He did seem a little jittery. Saxery has expressed some confidence issues in matches, but I think his games always look pretty good. Like, he had a good idea with the 7 pull, and he actually put up a pretty good fight against Best afterwards, but it's just, it's like, I mean, this happens where sometimes you do like a pretty aggro build, and it's like, oh, it backfired. All right, I'm going to try to make workers and figure this out, and then you lose, and it's like, okay,
pretty much.
Next.
Well, this could be a very good one. Let's see it. Barracks against Saxery. The map is going to be Eclipse. We'll talk about that a little bit more as we get into the game.
Yeah. And our players are now in the lobby, and the game is ready to go. Let's do this. The losers match, Barracks versus
ASL
Saxery.
시즌 10 게임 준비 완료. 이클립스에서 게임을 시작합니다.
This is the cast where I have to have my phone face down because my iPhone goes crazy thinking I'm talking to Siri.
Okay. Saw Saxery in the top right and Barracks in the bottom left.
I can barely ever get Siri to do anything anyways.
Oh, no, it's...
Whenever I ask Siri something, it's like, yeah.
It's terrible.
And then like I ask the question, it's like, I don't... She is so dumb.
She's pretty bad, but definitely much better than the new one from Facebook called Portal. There is nothing more useless than talking to a portal. It is...
What does it do?
Nothing tasteless. Yeah. It doesn't know how to do anything.
Yeah,
it is
I've
crazy.
had so many moments with Siri where I just try to ask it a simple question. Like I try to be a future man.
Yeah.
I try to be like, hey, look at me. Like,
no, I try it all the time
like,
too.
Look, I'm one with the robots, and I ask it a question, and I can't get...
Whenever we're trying to figure something out at my house, I try to ask Siri, and my wife just shakes her head at me, and she's like, why are you even trying?
This is the same thing with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
She just laughs at me like, why are you... What, you never works when you try to do it.
Just type it in.
Just type it in.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, I'm from the future.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to be a future man.
I don't make my own butter, okay?
Yeah, I'm not Amish, okay?
So, TVZ. Saxery, who's going to win this match? Me, I got the good spawn.
Let's try to ask Siri something. What should we ask? See if we can do it.
Let's see, what should you ask? Ask when ASL is on.
Hey, Siri. When is the ASL on?
On August 12, 2019.
Oh my God. It said, I'm not sure when the next Arena Bowl is. The Empire defeated the Soul in the last one on August 12, 2019. The final score was 45-27. Useless!
Useless. Completely useless.
Where are my working series and flying cars?
No, they don't exist. So, now that we have no idea when the next one is, let's
now that we can never get to the bottom of that one.
Yeah, let's talk about this on this matchup on this map a little bit, right? Okay, so first thing up, this is going to be just a Barracks expand from Barracks, and this is kind of the most stable build overall. I did mention this yesterday about these starting spawns, right? The bottom left, it's a little bit harder to hold on against Mutalisks. It's not undoable. You know, there's some maps where if you get a certain spawn, you're like, oh, I have to go Goliaths. I wouldn't say that Eclipse is that far gone for bottom left.
Yeah.
But it is a lot harder. You can't put any turrets really in your mineral line for your natural, so that means you have two sides to defend, right? And so it makes it a little bit difficult if they go heavily on mutas, which is something Saxery's pretty good at. Also, you have your gas above your command center, so it makes unit circulation in your main base a little bit harder.
Okay.
But that isn't as big a deal on this map. The main is a reasonable shape. You get a little bit clogged between the CC and the ramp, but that's it. So it's not that big a deal. But the rest of the map, some things to mention, right? There are 3 bases that Zerg can take that are up a single ramp. That have a gas.
This is actually what I was about to jump on, because both Terran and Protoss have the same pains when it comes to Zerg bases that they just can't get to once there's lurkers up on the ramp.
When you get 2 to 3 lurkers on a ramp, Infinity Marine Medic basically can't break it if it's placed correctly. So basically those 3 bases are really hard to stop, and of course top left, if Zerg ever gets at the game ends. The game just crashes as Terran, you have to reinstall it. Because when you're playing Bio against Zerg, basically the game is about denying their 4th gas as long as you possibly can. And if they get a 4th gas, you have to be ahead. And if they ever get top left, that means they're up to like 5 gases, and that's it. It's done. But the thing is that one's much harder to take. Generally, that's not what it's going to be, right? A lot of times they'll try to sneak one of the ones in the bottom right. Okay, so with all that said, this is a 2-hatch opener from Saxry. It looks like it's going to be 2-hatch Muta. He's taken his 3rd hatchery very quickly. That's pretty standard. And we're just going to have to see what he wants to do with this, because with 2-hatch play, there's like infinite possibilities now. 3-hatch is pretty darn off meta at this point, right?
Seems like it.
Yeah, when ASL first kind of came back, 3 hatchery play was all the rage. But at this point, it's been I don't want to say completely solved. It's still usable, but it's like a once in a while type of usable compared to what it used to be. At the pro level, 2 hatcheries just offers so much more flexibility. Because, like, for instance, you see that he has a 3rd hatch making. It's a little bit later, but it's literally at a 3rd base, and you can't stop it. Like, even this bio build, you cannot stop that hatchery. The mutas will be out, and it will kill your whole army, so you can't go up and be like, no. So 2 hatchery builds are basically better. But you have to defend against the mutalist harassment well, and you have to figure out what the follow-up is, because Zerg can do anything. They can do pure muta. They can do a Guardian Rush. They can go into Defilers quickly. They can go into Ultras quickly. They can just go into Lurker.
Are Guardians still somewhat common?
Yes, they are. They aren't like super duper common, but
it does seem like you need to end the game if you get the Guardians, though.
Yeah, when you do a Guardian build, it's pretty all in.
Yeah, you can't
if
be
you
like,
stop the Guardians,
well, if the Guardians don't work, I'll just get Defilers later. It's not how the game's going to work. So.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, there's a large area where you can park the Guardians over here.
Oh, I'll be stealing that turret placement, actually. That's a kind of a nice one. You can build one underneath that as well. Okay, so... Yeah,
You're so cute, Artosis.
Yeah, no, well, dude, this is what I want to see.
Cute, Artosis.
I go bio all the time.
I have the same thing when I see Pros players. I'm like, oh, that's where you put the pylon when you expand. Okay.
Like, oh, that turret? Okay, I'll try that one. It screws up mining of the bottom patch a little bit, but worth against the mutalist harassment. Okay, so you see his group of Marine Medic out on the map. He has to be careful about this. He needs to reinforce it, because this is not enough to actually break Saxry. Okay, so if he loses this whole group, like, you can lose it, and you're not dead because he has 4 racks, but really what you want to do is reinforce it. So if he can get that group over with this group, suddenly there's so much together that the mutas can't really fight it. It's very difficult.
The mutas are coming down now. And yeah, let's see how well controlled this is. It's actually very hard for both sides to do this well, but when the Lings come in here, the Lings basically allow the mutas to actually then win the fight.
And look at this, he's stimming up the other Marines, so he saves the medics, except for one. So that was still okay for Barracks. Saving the medics is the #1 priority.
Yes.
Like, if you lose all the Marines, it's not that big a deal, but if you lose the medics, it actually really is.
Yeah, it's basically the units that cost gas.
Yeah,
you know, and
those are your long-term ones that are gaining value over time.
We're seeing the mutas get closer and closer to...
I'm surprised how aggressively he's pushing.
Yeah, well, if this gets up here, man, and he takes his base out, you can make a medic wall on the ramp. It's going to be only mutas that can fight this.
The thing is, even if he gets up the ramp, he won't kill the hatch. Like, he can kill the 3 drones that are on gas, but he's going to lose everything. Like, this group is not actually big enough.
So, you know, obviously being a Protoss player, some of this kind of confuses me. So, like, why do you
how is their APM so high? Okay, Tasis, let me tell you. No, go ahead.
No, I just, when I watch these pushes come out, like, is that ever worth it for Terran then? I mean, like, what are you actually trying to do?
Okay, so it's a couple fold. First off, to actually defend pro-level mutas, or just high-level mutas in general, you have to leave your base. Your defense is your offense. You have to be threatening damage to Zerg, because if you sit all your bio at home, the Zerg will still find damage with the mutas, and they'll be greedy at the same
so
time.
basically you have to threaten killing the hatch and actually expect to probably lose the army.
Sometimes you will lose the army. You have to kind of decide when you want to reinforce. And the thing is, if they switch out of mutas, a lot of times that's your timing where you're like, okay, now I can get them because they're not making mutas anymore. And this particular game, Barracks went 4 barracks before he went tech. So he actually has extra Marine medics, so it's not as painful to lose groups. But in my opinion, I think he pushed a little bit too hard. Like, if he had regrouped a couple times, he would have so many right now, he could attack, move, and win.
Got it.
So there's like delicate balances, but there's all sorts of ways that you can play this as well.
One thing to note, too, and this is a feature on most maps here, is that if Marines have to try to fight behind the minerals, the glaives just connect perfectly with them. Yeah. It's like you lose so much. You always want your Marines in like a ball, not in a line.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can't do that. And we just saw the Mutilous Craftsman there, by the way, doing a great job. He's picked off a lot of SCVs.
Yeah.
Also, to mention, Barracks is going for a couple Valkyries.
Oh,
now,
cool.
These Valkyries, he will murder these mutas now. All he needs to do is have them, just watch. Look at that muta flock, how purple it is right now. Now, this is the dangerous thing about staying on mutas, right? Now he has to make mass sunkens. It doesn't look like lurkers are quite ready. There might be a bust timing here for Barracks.
Yeah, and the mutas just can't fight if the Valkyries are present. You see them fleeing now.
They really can't. You don't even want to kill the Overlord. It doesn't even matter. You need to keep your Valkyries with your Marine medic.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Okay,
lurkers are morphing.
Yeah, good placement.
Yeah, it's actually really good to have the lurkers morph there because it acts as somewhat of a wall there. The mutas are now so low. A few more Valkyrie missiles. Okay, I actually think Zerg can barely hold this.
He might just barely hold this. I have chills right now.
That was so good.
A good hold. The Scourge coming out to kill one of the Valkyries was so crucial. He had just enough sunkens, finishing just at the right time. My God, that was a good hold from Saxry.
And now, like, with lurkers there, you just can't bust that.
Yeah, all the sort of bust timings and everything are gone. And this is where now Barracks has to decide. Does he try to get really, really aggro, like add a bunch of barracks, get science vessels out, get dropships out, that type of thing? Or does he start expanding? And we see the 5th racks coming up. That doesn't 100% tell us. We'll see. If he adds like a 6 racks, then that's like, okay, we're going to basically be all in on 2 base.
Okay. Oh, wow, Greater Spire here. Now, I did not expect a Greater Spire after seeing a Defiler mount.
Yeah. He made 2 more Valkyries. Okay.
I guess he was thinking that he would just switch into science vessels and therefore he could just dump Guardians onto the...
I think that is exactly what he was thinking.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly it. Very good call there.
Oh, he's got to be careful.
Yeah, but you're right. Like, you won't even have their radiates, right? And then the Guardians are going to just kill everything. Here, he kind of can bring the Valkyries home and kind of defend it. So I'm not sure what the Guardians still might get a lot done. It's definitely possible. It takes a while for the Valkyries to kill him. Maybe he... Oh, God, no.
Why
no
would
way.
you ever? Yeah.
It's actually very surprising that he even made the Valkyries, because you look at the position he's in, right? It was pretty obvious the Valkyries weren't going to do anything.
Do you get, like, 1 Devourer here?
Yeah, you can go 1 Devourer.
We get to see that freak unit today, too. We already got to have a scout here. I'm liking this.
A single Devourer
Let's get a Ghost while we're at it.
We'll be okay. not too likely.
It's funny, too, because back in the day, nobody made Valkyries.
Yeah,
like, they were just, like, viewed as an obsolete unit. All right. Crabby boys.
This is good, man. Saxry's playing very nice.
Well, this guy knows how to win.
Yeah.
That's how I always think of Saxry, is like, well, he knows what to do to take you out.
Look at this. Okay, a couple drop ships. This is a great play.
If he can actually get into the main here, this is actually going to be
This might kill him.
Yeah.
But,
Terran might...
Okay, hold on. There's a Nidus, though. He can actually come back with his Defiler, so let's see how much damage he gets done. You can run around the main a lot, but in the meantime, the Guardians are doing damage.
Yeah, there's actually enough. I think Terran's going to lose on multiple fronts here.
Oh, we got to get Saxry over here. He has plenty to deal with this.
Get him.
Look at that. Scourge on one of them, and then obviously the Devourer can kill the other one.
there's not a lot of room here to hide for these Marines. Ooh. So the acid spores, we don't get to see this that often, but the acid spores actually lower the firing rate. And if you get like 9 acid spores on something, like, it's hilarious.
They also increase damage from other units on it.
That's right.
It's like a negative armor bonus.
Yeah.
Or whatever we call that.
Yeah, there's probably
armor debuff.
Probably a better way to say it.
I'm not an MMO player. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. Acid spores are
I don't
dumb.
have a 20-sided die, okay?
Yeah, I don't own one. I'm sorry.
All right. Things are getting pretty hectic here in the main. I don't know. I guess. Oh, no, he did not kill the Defiler Mount. It's right there in front of my face. Excuse me.
Yeah, that would be a great pickoff, actually.
Yeah.
And he's going to get it, so that's nice. Looks like Saxry kind of screwed up on not clearing that out all the way.
This is a very odd game because there's Zerg attacking across the map while there's still plenty here in the main. And actually getting rid of the pool, you really need Lings with your army here.
Yeah, this is, the amount of damage down there is really nice, but he's going to get a Dark Swarm in the natural, which means it's going to be a liftoff, and Barracks is going to have to back up.
Yeah. Oh, big mistake there.
Oh, man. He needs to get that up. He needs to get the Dark Storm up in the natural. This is absolutely crucial. Okay. I mean, you kind of have to go up the ramp.
Yeah, and this is where, keep in mind, Terran's about to mine out the main, so it's like, okay, and this is also being cleaned up. Barracks is very close to being dead. In fact, he is dead. GG.
Yeah. All right. I'm actually just slightly surprised Barracks didn't go up into the main and keep fighting. He had enough vessels that I feel like he could have fought on a little bit there, but Saxry had like a very clutch hold at the natural, right? There was a kill timing there for Barracks. He found it, he went for it, and just barely didn't pull it off. I think a big part of that was those groups that we were talking about that he lost. There's a delicate balance there on pressuring and keeping the mutas out of your base and then reinforcing and keeping units alive, right? Honestly, if he had about 5 more Marines in that bust attack, he actually busts, right? It's crazy how much just a few Marines will change a battle like that.
Yeah.
So it was a great game from Saxry, and I think Barracks played quite well, but not well enough.
We get a rematch now. Best for Saxry again.
Yeah, on Polypoid.
All right, let's do this. This is going to be really cool. Barracks played very well today, but he doesn't seem to be quite as refined.
Yeah, he's a very good player, but he's still up and coming, that's for sure.
All right, guys, we have one more best of one before we close today out. And of course, we're going to be back on Tuesday, so just 2 days from now. But it's going to be another PvZ best for Saxry. I'm very curious to see what Saxry is going to do. And we'll be right back.
Realize while you're sending the same message to a couple.
울트라 기어로 부드럽게 이긴다. LG 울트라 기어 게이밍 모니터.
야, 우리 진짜 한 판만 더 이기면 돼. 야, 그럼 나 화장실 좀 갔다 올게. 야, 어디가? 금방.
자, 이 정도. 20여 명의 학생들이 컴퓨터 게임에 몰입하고 있는 또 다른 PC방. PC방의 전원을 꺼보겠습니다.
From the beginning. Hit it, boys.
고고! 핫식스! Baby, I am all dressed up. Sexy skirt and cake makeup. Heels on to kill. We're gonna let the party turn way up. Feel sexy, dirty, I don't even care. I'm nasty but tasty, my lips are right here. We gonna party till the break of day. Sip your Henny and get ready to. I love it. You know it. I love it. You know it. You'll be calling up and day. Come on, baby, follow me. Way we move is so sexy. Hands on my thighs, I'm gonna move until your nature rise. Boy, you know Thursday we can get sticky like honey. Friday I'll make it smooth like butter wine. We gonna party till the break of day. Sip your Henny and get ready to.
sexy daddy, I don't even care. I'm nasty but tasty, my lips are right here. We gonna party till the
I want you, I need you. You got me right where you want me, baby. Ooh, ooh, yeah. And who knew what you do could stop me cold in my tracks, yeah. Why don't you get up off of these high hypotheses? I'm not Socrates, I'm not trying to be cool. Yeah, yeah. I think it's time to change the scene. Ditch the limousine, chicks and cellophane. I just came to see you. They can't touch us, it don't matter. Cause a ruckus, Watson's got up. We got something they never heard of. We got original love. We got original love. We got original love. We got original love. We don't need a reason to do whatever we want, baby. Just don't be believing whatever gossip they gon' say. We don't got time for stupid games. Hard to get your reach. I ain't gonna play. I'm just trying to be real.
Gotta play dead.
What's up, everybody? It's time to go to the final match for Group E. I know our groups are a little out of order here. We had to move some of the dates around for some personal reasons for some of the pros. But starting on Tuesday, we're going to be back to what, Group C, right? Be back on the proper alphabet order.
Yeah, the best way to remember is A, B, E, D, C, F, G,
H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
L, M, O, P. That's what I used to sing in elementary school. Did you guys sing that in Kansas?
Yeah. You and I aren't so different after all, Artosis. Did they have Coca-Cola where you grew up, too?
No. We drank Moxie.
No.
Let's go.
So it's going to be on Polypoid. Now, this is a rematch. Saxary went for his 7 pool. That was just shut down by Best. This is a different map, 4-player map. Let's see what happens with the rematch.
게임 준비 완료. 홀리포이드에서 게임을 시작합니다.
Best in that bottom right and top left, Saxary.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, I'm 100% sure we're not going to have a 7 pool again here.
100%?
Yep.
100%?
Yes, I'm literally 100%. Watch him actually do it. I'm like, damn. I don't often
just
say
not
that.
Trust you anymore. That would be pretty funny.
I
if
think
you did
it's
that here.
It's
damn.
This is a map where it's very big. Protoss I think, tend to Forge expand a little bit more than Gate expand. Because it's a really long travel distance if you go Gate first.
Okay.
They can do much with the Zealot. But then again, I guess now that I think about it, there's a lot of places to hide the Zealot too. So maybe
true.
we'll see.
That's true. Okay, well, that's just going out for his scout. You know, we had Snow yesterday saying he really doesn't like this map. I think he was speaking mostly about PvZ.
Yeah, I was surprised by that. I mean, I understand it's like There's definitely, I think, a more desired map size in PvZ because there's so many bases on this map.
Yeah.
And like every time a Zerg gets into the base, it's like, oh god, this is going to be a lot of work.
The truth, yeah.
Yeah.
When Zerg gets extra bases, that's like the scariest thing in the world. Anything after 3 is too much.
No, yeah. And here it's like a Zerg could be on like 6 or 7 bases even, where it's just a total nightmare. But I don't know if it's not favored for Protoss. I don't know.
Yeah.
But whatever Snow's looking at, it's probably so advanced.
Well, you know
so
what?
you can cannon rush on this map. I don't know if he's going to do it.
No, I think he's faking it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I think he was actually thinking about it.
Maybe
and the
if the drone
drone's
wasn't
there, and it's like, thing is, like, cannon rushing can be pretty exciting because you can just completely screw up the start of the game.
Yeah.
It's much harder for the Zerg to play, but if it fails, it's like, oh, okay.
It's pretty
like,
bad.
I'm playing from so behind now that this is terrible.
The early game's already hard enough.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to get to the point where you're comfortable in this matchup, so the bungled cannon rush has really hurt.
Yeah, some nice probe harassment thus far. Very annoying for Saxry. I'm trying to think right now about like third bases on maps for Protoss, because the way that I feel about it is that Protosses mostly get annoyed when the third base is a mineral only against Zerg. Could that be why Snow doesn't like this map?
I think that's okay. I mean,
I think it's
always better
common.
if there's gas. It's always better if there's gas, for one. But it's not... The weird thing is, Protoss suffer from not having gas in a way that Zerg do not suffer from not having gas.
Oh yeah, late game ZVP, there's always a gas bank for Zerg, and Protoss gas is 0.
Yeah. The thing about the matchup now is that a lot of it is focused on powering on 2 bases.
Yeah.
And we've had these different evolutions of the game, right? But a lot of times Protosses would try to get and expand up a lot quicker and try to to have a third base and power from there. And I think because the Zerg, first of all, Zerg can absolutely run you over if you take a quick third in PvZ. Yeah. But second of all, they can also just take the whole map.
Very true.
Zergs are at the point where if you leave them unattended, they become insane. Now this is 3-hatch Hydra, which again is, I think
Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's
I actually was looking at the mini map. I'm like, where's his third hatch? But now
it's over at 12, yeah. And I do think that out of all the builds that are out there, this one is probably got the strongest timing out of all builds. Because this is just, it's been around for a long time, but it's so perfected now. And what's funny is he's doing it in a kind of counterintuitive position. The cross spawns on the biggest map.
Yeah, it seems like the worst place that you could do it.
Yeah. Okay, good kill there.
Ooh.
Part of the Zealot even coming up here is to keep the Zerg honest and to look for Hydras. But again, people have become so good at disguising what this is.
And the probe has been alive for so long, and now that there's Zealots in there, do you cancel the rush? Or do you still do it?
I'm not sure.
Because I'm looking at this, I'm like, you're never going to get Hydras out without him getting, he's going to have cannons ready, right? His probe is still alive.
Well, he hasn't seen them yet. I don't want to answer for him because I'm just not sure.
Oh my god, he's killed 2 drones!
The thing is, with these drone kills, these are huge. And it seems almost like Saxry leaned a little bit too into the Hydra tech here, and he has these slowlings. There's the Hydras.
Oh man.
I feel like this is the dream game here for Protoss.
Yeah.
So usually what happens is you have a better hold here, but Saxry is going to die, I think, just based off some miscalculations at the start of the game.
Yeah.
So you see the Hydras, you're like, okay.
The amount that Best has outplayed him is pretty insane.
Oh my
What
goodness.
is this?
Artosis kiss
What
me.
is he doing?
Artosis.
3-gate goon with range?
Artosis.
Yeah.
He's doing 3-gate goon with range.
What is that? I've never seen this in this matchup.
It's a thing.
Is it a thing?
It's a thing.
Since when?
I
feel like I would have seen it if it's a thing.
it's one of these weird things where, like, you know, we've talked about this, where like Dragoons can be like, actually, if you have enough of them, really good against anything.
Yeah.
Like when you have low numbers on their side and you have Dragoons, you can kind of just like control really well. Now, I don't know if it's a miscalculation. I'm really kind of surprised to see him do this. Another trick you'll see people do is they just go speed lots immediately. Like, you don't even get a Corsair.
Yeah.
But he's saying that he can just get enough Dragoons out here and start to go for like some kind of an overwhelm play.
That's crazy, can he?
I don't know. Now, here's one thing I worry about in a situation like this is, like, the Hydras can actually just attack you as you try to go out between the Forge and the Gateway, right?
Yeah, I almost feel like he should have the Gateway die.
I've seen Bonneth do this thing where he'll get a bunch of speed lots out right away and then have a bunch of Dragoons with range after it. And you have, like, I don't know, maybe like 7 Dragoons or something like that fighting, and you just keep making speed lots and you end up trading in so hard. Because the Zerg is like if it was a car, it would be like it's not a manual, it's a stick. And so, like, there's a lot of stop and go with Zerg, and when you do this rush, first of all, it's not going to kill the Protoss as an all-in. Sorry, it's not going to happen. The Protoss actually identified it way too fast. And by the way, if you're someone who's like trying to learn the game, definitely don't do this one. Like this.
Yeah, no, this
is like
even make
really
sense at
hard
all.
to do, and I almost am sure that most Zergs are not thinking about this as a factor.
Yeah.
So he's going to get the speed lots anyways. And this is a funny thing when you're like low on, when you have like some Hydras, but not a lot of drones, the pressure of speed lot Dragoons with range is good.
Yeah.
It's really like kind of weird. Now, again.
Oh, he's trying to break now. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, here's what's funny about this is, like,
oh my God.
I think that Best is just going to lose the game. Like, what's nice is the Dragoons can act like cannons here. But yeah.
Okay, I guess he holds, right?
I think so.
That was very scary for a moment.
Well, I think it can still be scary here because the Gateway is going to be down. Now, again, Dragoons are like a little bit more handy at fighting this than a few Zealots are. You know, if the Zealots run forward, the Hydras kite back and then just shoot down whatever they can.
We got another cannon here. I mean, Hydras can definitely beat Goons. There's 4 Goons left over. Speed is done for the Zealots. They do have +1 attack.
The thing is, small numbers of Dragoons are actually pretty good against Hydras.
Yeah.
And they're also, it's very easy to micro. They got better range.
Yeah, that's true.
And so the Zealots can soak a little bit of hits.
Cannon placement seems pretty reasonable.
This
like,
is why,
so really commit to get in there.
This is why I'm saying, like, this is not something you want to practice. Like, be good at everything else before you try to do this.
Yeah, no, it definitely seems that way. Because it seemed like a perfect opening from Best, and now he's in this strat, and I'm like, wait, is he going to lose or is he going to win? Because I feel like with the opening he had, if I was watching normal PvZ, I feel like he'd be on the map right now with tons of 1-1 speed lots and high Templars with Psystorm and all that, you know?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there are a lot of Hydras outside his base. He has a giant, well, he had a giant gas bank, so we know that he's buying High Templars right now.
See, I actually thought this was going to work a little bit better just because I saw Best was doing it.
Yeah.
I was ready to be like, I'm going to copy this build and beat everybody on the ladder, but
don't do it.
Yeah, this looks...
Don't do it. We want you to gain MMR tomorrow. He says, don't do this build.
I wonder if part of the idea is that because you see the Hydras are coming, you think they're not going to commit to the all-in, so they're going to turtle, and then you just run across the map with Goons and start shooting everything down.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, he's lived through the initial rush. I guess as he gets Psystorm, he
should have that now if he's moving out.
Yeah. Nice storm, nice storm.
I love
Does
that
run the Zealots under it.
I love that we can zoom now in StarCraft. Okay,
Another
nice
storm.
storms. Ooh, bad storm there.
Yeah.
Good storm there.
All right, 3 for 4 so far as far as storm quality. Oh my God.
Okay, so I think Best might have screwed this game up. He sort of did this weird tech. He didn't take any of the benefits that he had in this game and allow him to get to a really good winning spot here.
Seems like Hydras are like pretty good against Protoss.
They are good units.
They're not really that good against Terran, so why are they? And they're not that good against Zerg, so why are they good against Protoss?
They're very microable.
Yeah.
You can really dodge stuff. You can kite very well with them. Zerg units are the most responsive units for sure.
Yeah, that is true.
He's gonna get away. Look at him go. Okay, so if we're gonna have damage done to the Zerg, it's gonna be now. You know, once you have Psystorm, I'm sure there's a robo being made as well here. This is where the game becomes a lot easier for the Protoss. It's just sort of make stuff.
Is the, like, as from the Zerg's point of view, do you want to just be making Hydras here to stop this, or are you thinking about maybe going Spire or something because he doesn't have Stargate?
Spire can be very good.
Yeah.
Spire can be very, very strong. Because, yeah, you just shoot down the... It's actually something Protosses have to be really aware of.
Yeah.
Because...
Seems like you'd have to really lean on Zerg or they might get that Spire out.
Yeah, yeah. Well, if they just shoot all your Templars down, you're completely at a disadvantage.
Oh, comes out to try to snipe these High Templars. Nice pullback from Best.
Great control there.
Yeah. A couple of Sunkens did finish. He's bringing all his Hydras up here to the high ground here. Nice storm. Pushes them back. Oh, those are some very nice storms.
Good. He's going to morph some of these into Archons in a second here, but I think he might be able to topple Saxor, even though this game was really bumpy at the start.
This has been a weird game.
Yeah, well, you know, the problem really, GG. Okay, wow.
Okay, I don't really understand what I've seen here because it looked like Best opened in a dominating fashion. And then he did a really weird build, and it looked like Saxor's going to win for a big chunk of the game, and then Best is just like, no, you're dead, get out of here.
Yeah, it was kind of funny.
That's the first time I've ever seen that strat.
Yeah, I've seen it in the past, but since it wasn't happening, I thought this was just sort of ruled out.
Yeah.
One thing about Best, though, is he seems to have a lot more builds than a lot of the other pros. Like, he'll do a lot of the weird ones.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, we definitely saw that here.
This is a guy who will just do a 2-gate on TV against a Zerg, like 2-gate in his main.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah, this is a build. Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, great game there by Best. Very curious about what exactly the thought process is with that. Because when I saw it, I thought, oh, it must just immediately win the game somehow, because why would he do... When you spot that timing attack, it's like, every Protoss has something they're going to try to do. And then when he did that, I thought, okay, and then he almost dies. And I'm like, well, I don't get it. I don't know. And he wins, and I go, okay, I still don't really get it.
ASL 시즌 10 24강 2조 경기 모두 만나보셨습니다. 오늘의 두 번째
So our player who's
진출자
advanced.
도재욱 선수 만나보겠습니다.
It
축하드립니다.
is Best. Congratulations.
그래도 심장이 한 번씩
Says thanks.
벌컥하는 순간이 있으셨을 것 같은데 무사히 16강에 안착하는 데는 성공하셨습니다. 소감을 먼저 좀 여쭤볼까요?
You've safely made it to the round of 16. How do you feel?
너무 공격적이더라고요. 그래서 막으면서도 제가 막혀라.
Yeah, well, we played Saxory twice. He was so aggressive. I was not sure I was going to be able to hold that.
첫 번째 이혜훈 선수의
Luckily, I defended well.
이혜훈 선수가 선클러시를
And I've got 2 wins against him to advance.
굉장히 스무스하게 도재욱 선수가 좀 막아내셨어요. 상대의 좀 어떤 전략적인 움직임은 미리 좀 염두를
Let's talk about the game with the Sunken Rush. You seem to defend that really well. Were you anticipating an attack like that?
그거를 좀 써달라고 했어요. 그래서 완전
Yeah, I thought he was actually going to do it.
시간을 알아내가지고
When I practiced with other Zerg Pro players, I actually asked him to do that exact strategy against me. And so when the build came, I was ready.
모이면서 거의 오버로드를 학살하다시피 하면서 이혜훈 선수에게 좀 심리적인 타격을 많이 입히셨는데 그
You amassed a lot of Corsairs, and you ended up massacring the Overlords.
않았을까 하는 생각이 들었어요. 좀 다크를
But
배제하셨던
let's talk about the game against Shuttle.
것 같은데 끝나고는 좀 무슨 생각이 드셨나요?
I think that really shattered your mentality after losing to that DT rush.
그리고 제가 게임 중간에 살짝 꿈을
Oh yeah,
살짝
when I saw the DTs,
확신을 못했어. 다크인지 옵저버.
I thought, oh my god, am I not going to get out?
다크더라고요. 그래가지고
And I actually thought,
게임 끝났지만 그래도 최종전이
I thought it was an observer build for sure.
그래도 멘탈 잡고 한 게 도움이 됐던 것 같아요.
이혜훈 선수의 두 번째 최종전에서도
So I tried to get ahead.
물론 도재욱 선수가 다 대비를 하고
Anyways,
있었지만
after the matches, I tried to focus hard on the next game.
생각보다 좀 많다라는 느낌 못 받으셨나요?
너무
So even in the final matches, you were ready.
포토캐논을 3개를 띄웠는데
네.
너무 불안한 거. 전 드라곤을 믿을
Yeah, I
수가
saw a
없어요.
bunch of Hydras.
못 믿어가지고 포톤캐논 2개 딱 추가했는데 그 추가 안 했으면 그냥 뚫렸을 것 같아요.
So what I did is I added 2 photon cannons. If I hadn't made those 2 extra cannons, I think he would have busted me. Luckily, those 2 photon cannons saved my life.
이번 시즌은 8강 가셔야죠.
그 계속 최근에 이제 제가 16강
Do you think you can make it to the quarterfinals?
이번에는 그 시드자들
It's been a while to see you in this round of 16.
그 최대한 뭐 저를 좀 신경 써준다고 하더라고요. 근데 뭐 어떻게
This
신경
season,
써줄지
Queen
몰라요. 근데
is a seeded player.
친구들이 이렇게 또 해준다고 하니까 그래도 이제 그냥 제가 원하는 조에 갈 수 있어도 좋겠네요.
16, 24강 경기를
They
계속해서
said they were going to do their best to make a good group for me.
시드권자
Since they're my
선수들에게
friends.
계속해서 좀 연락을 취하셔야 될 것 같아요.
안 그래도 오늘 제가 세팅하면서 이제 개인 방송
So I guess you're going to have to keep watching the round of 24.
내 친구 도재욱 응원방이더라고요.
내 친구 도재욱. 이미 좀 모종의 계약이 좀 성립이 됐군요.
아니 뭐 그렇다고 하지만 뭐 일단 제 실력이 돼야지 올라가는 거니까 16강에까지 최대한 실력 좀 끌어올릴 수 있도록 하겠습니다.
네, 마지막으로 팬들에게도 한마디 부탁드립니다.
이렇게
It's also going to depend on, you know, how I play. Anywhere to your fans?
그렇게 좋지가 않아요. 근데 이제
I'm not totally satisfied with my recent games, online and offline.
16강부터는 제가
But since I made it to the round of 16, I'm going to grind hard and prep hard. It's going to be multiple games as well.
조재욱 선수 16강
I'm going to do my best.
조지명
So please watch me.
고맙습니다. 자, 이렇게 해서 오늘의 두
All right,
번째
that does it.
진출자 도재욱 선수와 함께했습니다.
Yeah, what a weird strat that last game.
Yeah, that was wild. I want to see more of it. It's exciting because like I don't normally feel even in that matchup that anything catches me that off guard. Like I really had no idea what was going on, and then when he just rolled through him after it looked like he was in trouble for a little bit.
Well, what's funny about it is it's not. I mean, I guess the Dragoons can kind of act like an extra cannon behind the gates. Maybe that's the idea there.
Yeah,
Some of these spots, it's hard to get enough cannons in the right spots.
Yeah, that's true.
Kind of like the problem that Terran have with turrets at their natural against Muto, where it's like, oh, the way this is set up is actually so hard. So maybe you just try to get enough Dragoons where they're like little mobile cannons. And as long as you don't die, you know, you can take it to a win.
Well, very interesting there. And with these two Protosses advancing, we have 3 of each race, except for Random, a little bit underrepresented.
Golden balance.
Yeah.
Thank you, David Kim.
Yeah, so, I mean, we still have more groups to go, so we'll see who makes it through. But so far, very stacked next round. Our next group, it's not tomorrow, but the day after. Mini Royal. Royal is sorry, for people who don't know. He needed to change that ID because he was getting too popular. Hero and Killer. Hero is back, man. It's looking good, too. I can't wait. This is a great group. I can't wait because, like, I know we're going to see Mini versus Hero, and that's going to be a great match.
Oh, yeah. I'm very, very excited for this. And,
yeah. Sari is a very exciting Terran player.
Oh, yeah, he's great.
He's very cutting edge. He's one of the most cutting edge Terrans in the whole world right now. So I'm quite excited to see what he brings.
We're going to have Mini against a Zerg, which is always cool. He's got some really good approaches to that matchup. It's going to be good.
His
ASL
PTZ is very exciting. That's a great group. That's a really good group.
Yes. So, guys, thank you so much for joining us. And, again, we're going to be back in 2 days with more ASL. GSL is also held on the same channel you're watching us on right now. And that's going to be on Wednesday and Saturday.
Yeah, and, of course, Tuesday, make sure that you tune in for that next group of ASL.
We'll be streaming StarCraft tomorrow. Artosis earlier in the day because he's a dad. Tasteless later in the day because he's a degenerate.
There you go. Perfect balance. Just nonstop StarCraft, basically.
Yeah. Good time to stay inside and play some video games. And it's exciting to see Best advance. I do like seeing him do well.
Yeah, no, I want Best to do very well in every single tournament, to be honest. It's like he's one of the players that it's the most sad that he doesn't have a championship, you know?
Interesting to see that Saxary always going for the quick win, too.
Yeah, he plays pretty cheesy, aggressive styles.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. Zerg's can do that, though.
Yeah, no, a pro told me, like, basically for Zergs, it's almost felt like if you're not aggressive, no one will respect you, you know? Like
if you're just staying back and massing up stuff.
You got to put fear into your opponent as a Zerg player, I guess.
Yeah, makes sense. All right, well, hopefully we can close this out. I have nothing else to say.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, I mean, it was cool. It was fun
games.
Neat. I was sad to see Barracks die. I really wanted to see Best PVT. Best PVT's awesome. So I was hoping
he's
to
very
see
good.
that.
I think we will have some of that in the future for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm excited to see Flash playing random.
Of course.
In the first official tournament.
Well,
I know we had the 10 show match, but that's like...
Yeah, and that was interesting because it gave us like a starting point for his random, right?
Right.
His random is not going to be worse than that.
No, for sure it will not be worse than that. And, you know, if he wins an ASL with random, that's the craziest thing that's ever happened in the history of the world.
Yeah, I think at that point we can just cancel everything.
Yeah. Be so
Earth
cool.
gets sucked into
Thing
a
is,
black hole.
I don't think he's going to win. I think he's going to do pretty well. It'll be a couple more ASL seasons.
I think he's going to do better than anyone thinks he
But
is.
I think he will eventually maybe win.
Hmm.
Random's hard, man.
Random is very difficult.
He gets a free one with Terran.
I think his best chance with random is window with random. I think is about 2 seasons long, because
Then
people are
he'll
going to
use
figure
random.
out his metagame with random, because he's going to bring like a metagame no one's ever seen with random.
Yeah.
Because basically playing random right now, if you play random on the ladder or whatever, you're kind of a clown and you're not good enough to do it. So we're finally getting someone that's actually good enough to do it, who's actually the smartest player in the world and the best mechanical player in the world,
Yeah.
and he's going to figure out the right builds based on what his opponents are thinking and stuff, but that's going to change the way people think about playing against random. It's going to be the first time we have a real metagame against random.
Yeah, well, also, all the people that do play random online are going to be copying whatever Flash does.
Yeah, and then they're going to find out they can't do it because they're bad.
Yeah, and because they were random players to begin with.
Yes, exactly. Once you win 10 championships, you can go random. Before that, don't even talk to me.
So cool that he's actually doing that, though. I mean, think of how long we've had StarCraft out, and we're finally in the point in time where the best player has switched to play all the races.
I know.
Where
It's
a
very
computer
exciting.
picks for you.
Yeah. I believe the last professional random player was CHRH, and that was in like 2000 or 2001 that he switched to Terran.
Yeah.
So it's like been forever. There's been some players. Elky in his last tournament actually played as random.
Oh, did
in
he?
the group stage, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Didn't go well for him, unfortunately. Other than that, there was like some race picking way early on, like year 2000, year 2001.
Yeah, they had to eliminate race picking because it's just, if you pick your race and then they can also change, then you can't find any common ground.
Yeah, no, that's where
Excuse
it gets truly hilarious. Is
Yeah.
race pickers against race pickers, and then it's just
Yeah.
like it almost becomes random versus random at that point. Last second you switch your race and stuff. It's dirty.
When people do that in the countdown, I'm like, what are we even doing?
Yeah.
What race do you want me to play? Yeah.
Yeah, it is going to be interesting to see what he has build order wise, because like I didn't feel like the 10 show match series that he was in. I didn't feel like we saw his full power. You know, it felt a little bit off. Like,
well, it was also weird because we had some games where he just got Terran and won, and then there was one game where he got Terran and lost because he went command center first.
Yeah,
so it's like
that adds some craziness into it too, because like when he randoms into Terran, because he's still the best Terran in the world by far. When he randoms into Terran, it's like his Terran was already unstoppable, but now that you don't know that it's Terran and it's Terran,
yeah.
it's
What's
like,
weird about it is like he has an advantage if he randoms Terran to the point where
it's
like,
an absurd
I
advantage.
have to actually root for the other player now because
it was already too
this is-
scary with that situation.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, randoming into Terran on like a 4-player map against Scouted Lass's Flash, you get there, he's like maxed out, 3-2 max.
I'm also curious to see, like, there's certain matchups where I feel like it's going to be hard for him to have the kind of expertise that some of the players have, like ZVZ. Like, what if they both end up going mutas? Is Flash really going to have better muta control? I don't think
he won't.
so.
He shouldn't against most of the pros, but Wraith control is really similar, and
Sure.
he's got unbelievably good Wraith
Or let's
control.
take PvP. You know, a lot of this is dueling with Dragoons.
Yeah.
And, like, that's...
His Dragoon control should not be the same level as someone like Best, right?
No,
It
exactly.
just
Like,
should not
a
be.
lot of times PvP, I mean, Dragoon Reaver, if you've been playing for 22, 23 years just going Goon Reaver,
Yeah.
it's hard for me to imagine Flash as
No,
just, like, they both have their Dragoons and their Reavers fighting with the shuttles. It's like, is he really going to be better at this? I don't feel like it should be.
His wins with the off races should be macro and strategic oriented. They
Yeah.
shouldn't be micro oriented.
It should be something
He
do.
shouldn't be able to out micro anyone with those races in mirrors.
I would think so.
Yeah. No, that's if you just think about it logically, like think about it this way, right? Like no one can micro Terran units as well as Flash, even if they played as long. Right. So the same thing you can apply, like he shouldn't be able to micro Zerg and Protoss units as well.
Guys, that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We'll see you on Tuesday. Have a good morning, afternoon, or night, wherever you are.
With all the pieces in my
시즌 10